Alrighty. Hello, hello, hello. So, Chris.
Back in 2001, when we first began working with Gary Gygax, he
Sound
pitched this
good?
wonderful series of books to us.
Yeah.
He called them the Gygaxian Fantasy World.
I know. It's like Split changed something slightly, and it shows me for a second. I know it's weird. The way they do it, the announcement is not as quick as up that I'm live. So
there was really no
it's all
end
good.
to what he envisioned the series to be. We eventually published the Canting Crew, Build Our Living Fantasy, 7 volumes in total. We had another 3 that were ready to go to print, another 3 or 4 after that we were working on. So the series is really open. We are bringing these back. That's what this Kickstarter is. We've got 7 books online ready to be printed. We've got another 3 right after that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those books.
Minimally out as we were working on them at the time. Those will be out definitely in PDF, depending on how well the Kickstarter does, and maybe even more than that once we kind of push beyond the necessary stretch goals and all that mess. But welcome to the what we're calling the Gary Gygax World Building Archives, and please give us your support. Share it around if you can. Pledge if you can. Whatever you need to do, whatever you can do for us and the memory of Gary Gygax, we very much appreciate it.
Turning the sound down. There we go. I got it. I nailed it that time.
Join the fray.
Yay.
Welcome to Gamescape 3D. Today we're going to be going over our release of our gigantic
Hey, Coco.
cliffs.
Yeah, Coco, I got 3 so far, so we're good. We're good, because I haven't even asked some other outside of the main group guests for next Saturday. Before I do all my other, if you talk to Bird, if you talk to Bird, just let her know I sent her a message if you don't mind. Just see. Hey, Angela, good to see you. Caesar, good to see you. I mean, I doubt she'll be able to play, but you know, it can't hurt to ask because it would be great to have Orin Thera playing. It'd be awesome.
You can see this tree right here. It actually just pops right off, and after you pop it off, you can go ahead. I have a door piece you can swap in there. I also just have a plain cliff face.
Hope everyone's doing well on a Sunday night.
Whoops. You can pop in there.
Oh,
okay.
What's this?
Let's say
we're just showing the hill, the huge hills that we've been giving away from our sponsor Gamescape 3D.
Maybe that makes a door appear,
and they're really cool. And
for you to enter inside.
Hey, Anna.
Whatever.
Hello.
So this one right next to it is another swappable one. We have a cave entrance.
See,
these things blend in.
We're doing
really
Bards
well.
tonight on Gabbin.
Yeah, it's awesome.
At minimum, it's Anna and me. I asked Mike, GREYHAWK Mike, to come if he wants to come on because I know he can't make Wednesdays. And Tim is ever mysterious. We'll see if he shows up.
Just that simple. Okay. And then our last one is down here.
So we're just showing ads as we're getting ready to go live here.
Yep.
I'm doing less and less music here because I'm getting banged all the time now for third-party stuff. Oh yeah, you got the rights to it, and just the ad music has been flagged, not on Twitch but on YouTube every time. So I'm cutting them out as much as I can of the ad with music. So that's why I have.
So you can see the open locks being useful in some cases. Most
Controller Games one and the ones from Jeremy because
side-to-side connections potentially, because you will get into situations where the magnet polarity isn't set up correctly for what you want to do.
But other than
Those
that, things are
open locks
great.
will override the magnets pushing away from each other. In terms of this base here, you can use any quarter-inch material.
So I think I'm
using hardboard
set up here too now. Yep.
Yeah, good.
You could use quarter-inch cardboard, quarter-inch foam core, some kind of plastic,
Okay, all shout-outs are done.
plexiglass, anything you got
Tell me,
available.
we got 652. It's early still. Hey,
Hey,
darling.
material and shim it up a little bit, or double it.
I think this will be a good show for those that play
here's the
in my
hardboard I'm
game but
using.
are afraid of like explain
set
bards
right on
because
top.
we got at least one. I'm saying that
Go
for a
ahead
reason.
and
We got
work
one
these
main
out
bard
so
in
you
our
can
new
sort of
group,
see
the
front
Bone
mechanism.
Baddies. Oh, by the way, Ann, I
Okay,
got
so
some.
we got magnets all along here.
They have a create
These
a
are just
shield
the tops of the
request, by the
cliffs.
way.
Okay.
Once that's
Yeah,
right here,
I
you
could
do
talk with
not
that
need to cut
offline
precisely.
with
We got
the.
Yep.
a
Talk
lot
about
of
that afterwards.
overlap
Yeah.
coverage there. As you can see,
So,
in most cases, most spots
I
you're
think that'll
looking
be.
at up to
This
an
one will
inch
be
of
good to
coverage. So,
entail like
you
what a
know, if
low level
you're-
bard
if you're
will
within half an inch,
encompass
that's
in my
gonna
game. So we got an example.
take care of it.
And
then
I'll
we
talk a
have
little bit
magnets,
about
these things
high
just
level
pop right in
bards
there
Okay.
and
in
hold
my
things
games in
into
the
place.
future.
These this one here is an earlier one. You can see I went a little deeper.
Imagine.
I decided to change that for the one I'm releasing you, so you don't
With
have
scale, what happens?
so much 3D print coverage going back. It doesn't really interfere if you're just doing a cliff face.
I'm sorry, I'm munching
But
here.
if you form
That's all right.
these things into an entire
again,
view, that
allergies
extra
are-
rock really
Allergies
ended up
have been
taking up
bad
a lot of
this time of the
surface
year.
space.
So
We have had
So,
terrible air
trim
that
that
comes.
back a
We have
little
like an
bit.
inversion
So there you
overnight.
go. That's how.
That's why we have
those
so high
top
temperature
plates
here. So
hold into
all
place. There are a
the
few
pollution
features
from
that
the
I'm
whole
not
LA
showing
area
today
is kind of
that
trapped
will be
overnight. So
available in your kit.
the air is terrible.
Each
Even
one
out
of these
here, we feel it.
cliffs will have a
So
half version,
it's
so
not
it's
good.
going to come out
And
to
we have
about
temperature
135 millimeters
110,
on
115,
this upper print
120,
part.
and
So you can
60%
print
humidity.
these
Yeah.
tops. I do not have that available.
Angelo,
for the
it's part of the
swappable
discussion.
faces,
Oh, Holly
but
Monster in
everything
with a
else does
raid.
have that
Thanks.
available. I also
Hello.
have
Let's
two
go.
turnout corners
We'll go to
for
our
turning
live screen here then. Holly, sorry, we're doing our entry screens, but we'll hop right on. So can't hurt to come on early. Thank you so very much. It's great to see you. It's been a long time. Thank you. Let me go. All right, so we got tonight's discussion is bards. I'm gonna hop into main screen here in a sec. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anna and me are on right now. Thank you so very much, Holly. Good to see you with the. Oh, look at that, because you came on right after I. Boom. There we go.
Extra window in front. Hello.
Yes.
It's that extra window that
That
we have to
extra
get rid of.
damn window, and now I can hit this. There you go. So that worked. So awesome. Great to see you. Please, Holly is such a great, and she's played before in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So please give her a follow. Let me put this up. I probably do have the it's great to see you. Hopefully you were having a good stream. Were you crafting or was it a game? Let me know on that. So, and I know you've been cranking out some work. I know the whole community. Did you go to ReaperCon, Holly? I'm not sure. Every year I say I'm going to try and get there, and I can't. Something always comes up. So, Phantom, good to see you. So we're on 5 minutes early, but that's okay.
Sure, there are lots of things coming up. So
Lots. So, first thing, always, and by the way, September, I will match gift subs up to 50 of them as I do on each talk show to really crank it up for the whole month here. So let's go here let's go here and see where we are on tabletop events. Yep. Alrighty. Ready. Hakchuk, good to see you, everyone. Good to see you all as people are rolling in here. All right, so we go to attend event schedule, and we look at this, and let me put this to 100, so put everything up here. As you can see, it is filling up. Now, we're going to even, there are seminars just for placeholders. So This one, Retrieving the Dead, doesn't have any signups. Everything else is sold out. Here's a GREYHAWK Reborn by Ron Reaver. 3 seats. 1 seat here. Salvage Operation under GREYHAWK Reborn. That's a seminar. I love for these Deep Dwelling Dwarves to get filled. These were late played in. Joker Smile, good guy. I'd love to see. He has 3 parts, and it's a Len Kafka one. I'd love to see get some people in on this one. So, explain GREYHAWK Reborn. GREYHAWK Reborn is a group, and let me see if I have their. I may have them on shout out here. They are they play 5e, and they're switching over to 5.5 shortly, and they play campaign style as of Living GREYHAWK.
Yeah, there's like an extension of the continued Living GREYHAWK.
Yeah.
Afterwards, so
and so they are but these games anyone can sign up for. There you go. There's a sign up to their
hello, Curtis.
That's their Discord. Yo, Curtis. Curtis is very excited about this one because he has a Bard to discuss. So here's another GREYHAWK.
We should get him on then. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another GREYHAWK Reborn with 2 people. Yo, Curtis, you want to hop on as Frederick with your bongos as for entertainment purposes? Please feel free. Another GREYHAWK Reborn with 4 openings. Mystery of the Stolen Boat. Whose is this? This is Lee. Lee always does 1 game a year. Let's get that filled up. Lee's a good DM. Definitely get that one. Deep Dwarven Delve, the second part, has 2 signups, 4 open seats. Notice a lot of stuff is sold out now. Salvage Operation, again, 3 open seats. Deep Dwarven Delve Part 2, only 1 person signed up. The Fury of the Bitter Root Tribe. This is, oh my gosh, this is William Henry Dvorak. Will's Games got 1 sign up? That's insane. Oh my gosh, that's William Henry Dvorak, everyone. Giant Stop. He should have that filled already. Mm-hmm. Dungeon Land, look at that. 6 out of, that's great. You can play that with 6. 3 open here, 1 open here. Zavod has 7. That's got to be filled a bit more. Another GREYHAWK Reborn. Zeef, all this for a wedding, half filled. That's a lot more than Antiquus always has by this time. So that's good. That's good. Yeah, Sour Load. Yeah. What years are they in? They're in 620s. They're in the 620s, I believe. So we got a fair number. Did Valmoku's on Saturday get filled yet? No, Valmoku's got 4 open seats on his. 2 signups for. He's got Gabriel from Uruguay and Armin in it so far. So that'd be a good game to get in on too. There's a lot of spots.
Yeah.
There's
Gabriel
a lot of
is
spots.
in my game too. That's so cool.
Yeah. Gabriel UI on Twitch normally. So you're already in Lee's game. Well, I appreciate that, Phantom 490. Dude, push it out there, man. Hell, I will do. We'll have a pre-show coming up. 3 weeks. I'm losing track of time here. On the 29th will be the Virtual Garycon 5 Prelude show. So in 3 weeks, but I'd rather get most of this filled before then. That would be awesome to have that happen for all the DMs, because the DMs go and they work hard. Just other quickie announcements here. I'll show you this. So if we go to Thursday's schedule, he'll be on late, but it's confirmed. Ed Greenwood will be playing in the Lost City of the Soul game, which is sold out. Ravalantar will be in that game. All right, and that will be on a Thursday. What's that? The 3rd of October. Yeah. So Ed is in that, and then another special official announcement Saturday. Anne will be raiding into the Grand Joust, and Luke is confirmed for that again. So we got Luke Gygax in that game as well. So, and always get on wait lists, because you never know what'll happen with people not signing up for stuff. So, new printing of Divine Raid is available. Wow! All right, that's cool, dude. If you want to whisper me a link, that's great. I'll check it out. Love that game. So I just want to go through that real quick. We'll go through it a little bit at the end as well. But that is what is going on with Virtual GREYHAWK Con. So, and Anna, you are all sold out, which is great as well. So
yep. I'm just finished up the first 2 documents, PDFs, to send to my players.
Good.
So they get because now the Hawk Tales fantasy role playing system is starting to alpha version is getting battle ready.
Good.
So,
that's great.
Yeah, we had a cool first game test this morning. We were only 3 players, but we had a lot of fun finding some goblins, and it was very interesting to see how, because I've only played against myself, and I had a couple of friends who never played D&D that I sat down and had them do it, but I couldn't really evaluate a game system against someone who never played before. So this was the first time I battle tested, and there was some interesting consequences. It wasn't too far from what I was expecting, so to speak. So I've done a few tweaks, and then now I think it's at least ready to start with. I have to I'm sure I have to tweak a few things as we go, but we had a great time. It was a very dynamic, quick, and fun battle, so to speak. Things went back and forth, and it was super fun.
Thank you very much, Garycon. I was lurking on the channel. I don't think Garner was DMing, but really appreciate that. We're talking virtual GREYHAWK. And if you want to know, real quick, Garycon. I've been working on my Garycon. So this is what's quickie. 5 things I can tell you. 1, this is scheduled events, not the talk shows and stuff like that. 1, I'll be doing a Thursday morning game, which will have a lot of open signups, just like last year I did Puppets, which will have a wedding event between the NPC, Edmundson Winchester, and Coco's character, Elazira.
It's becoming your forte. Tournaments and weddings.
By request, if Curtis is not around, if it's not volunteering enough, Coco asked, "Hey, we need Fritz there too." So
yeah, who's going to officiate this?
Well, she said maybe Fritz, right, Coco?
Yeah,
have Curtis there.
Ward might not be the right officiant of every wedding.
Right, that would be freaking hysterical. So, game
awesome.
Game 2, Slav Squad. Hopefully, Eric Mona's got to confirm finally. And that'll be 4 members of that with a more open. We only had 2 open signups. I'm trying to open more open signups, and then 2 drink minimum on Saturday, and then our What's New in GREYHAWK talk show that we do with you, me, and Mike seminar, and then seminar you, me, and Ed. Oh, look at this! We got someone coming on as a special guest tonight. There we go.
Oh,
there you go, Coco.
Awesome.
It's Fritz and Frederick. It's both. It's Frederick Coldwell and Fritz Winchester all wrapped up into one. Talking Bards tonight. The guy, the Fritz Red Wedding. Yeah. So if Curtis isn't, the problem with Curtis and Brett is they are simps of Josh, and they got to do whatever Josh says. I'm just kidding. At Garycon,
me too.
Yeah, you too. So we'll see, Coco, if we can get free and have him play in that game Thursday at Garycon. So
we'll work it out. Yeah. I'm actually supposed to be working on Tower Gygax stuff right now, TJ. So
okay.
So you can say, yeah. I think an hour and a half of not would be fine. But this is a great bar discussion today. Thanks, Warl. A Bard discussion tonight, which will be a lot of fun. And you have a Bard character, so you can. I'm going to bring him up, and then Anna's going to show some stuff too. Wow, Scal, look at that. We're almost hyped up. Thank you so very much. Like I said, gift subs will be matched as we keep on cranking up September. Since when did this become a Fritz stream? Well, why not? The ever mysterious Tim is MIA. I did invite Mike. If Mike's more than welcome to come on as well. But the good thing about Curtis is he's played a bard, a decent level bard recently, and we can relate to how that is working in the fusion of my game. 1E, 2E. And that's a good thing to discuss. And we got two Curtises and a lower level one. So Curtis, thanks for hopping on. And oh wow, thanks Gary, keeping up the resubs going here. What was your memories of that during the 24-hour stream?
Well, first of all, you and I chatted until 5:30 your time and about 2:30 my time, and even I hit the wall.
Oh yeah.
So,
After the first game, yeah.
I actually have to go back and watch that because I really, for that last hour, I don't know what we were even talking about. I have no memory of it. But the game itself was really great because I probably, like most everybody else, we all knew the 1E Bard, the appendix in the player's handbook. We really never messed around with it. We would encounter it. Some people tried it. It never seemed to work because the way the levels work, we weren't sure would it be where they would fit in an ongoing campaign, right?
Great point. And that's where, let's do this as we're talking. Let's reminisce. That's a great. Why don't we just kick it off with that? Roll. The best memory was when. Coco's poking the bear already. She's poking the bear because we're going to run that group in the near future. All right. So here's our player's handbook, and I guess they didn't know what to do with bards, so it came in late, or
it's the first original prestige class.
That's true.
And I love it. That's in that sense, it's the best bard ever.
Yeah. Yes, but there are some issues with it. Okay. There are some issues with it, and look at this. I think my one page with the table on it is it's blank. It's in my PDF. That is funny. There's nothing there except the Bards table. So if you know about how Bards work in old school, which is so bizarre. Let me see. I think I have another. All right, here we go. I can bring this. That's not it. I thought I had a Bard page done already. I know I have it here. Here it is. All right, I got it. There it is. Okay. I knew I had a page separate. So Bards are like the jack of all trades in the old school game. Now, I guarantee you I'm going to get you, Sam, on something here that I found out today. So this is going to be interesting. They begin
Please do so.
Yes, because it's always good to get the new canon with old canon.
Oh. Get the new canon hard. Kick him right in the new canon.
Okay. I'm going to ask him a question. I want to see how he answers it. They must first exclusively, attain at least the 5th level experience. Well, I've broken that rule with special players, and we'll explain that. Yeah. So they can go up to 7th. This is in any event prior to attaining the 8th level, they must change their class to that of thieves. Here's my example. I want your answer on this, Sam. If they stop at 6th level fighter, as an example, what level do they have to go for thief? And then it says here, again, sometime between the 5th and 9th level, which means 6th, 7th, or 8th, bards must leave off thieving and begin clerical studies as druids. I don't know if that's clerical study. That's my question. If your fighter stops at 6th, what level do they have to go up to? If they stop at 7th, what level do they have to go up to? It never says directly in the text. That's a great point. So here's what I thought for all these years. I learned something new every day, too. I thought it was the dual classing rules. So if you're a 5th level fighter, you stop there, you have to go up to 6th level thief. Minimum. And then go to bard. If you're 6th level, you got to go up to 7th. And if you're 7th, you got to go up to 8th, because that's the way it looks like on here. Doesn't that make sense? That it's just like
it's like default, right?
Yeah, right. That's what I thought, because they're not bards. Because then they are in the dual classing thief rules, and then they can go on to bards afterwards. Right. That's what I thought. The wishingly few bard. Now, thank you for the follow. Here is the reality. This is Rogues Gallery's NPC bards. If you look at this bard here, you look at this bard here, going up. Thank you for this hype train, please. So thankful. 7th fighter stopped at 6th thief. 7th stopped at 6th. This one 6-6. They do not surpass necessarily. All right, I just learned something. Now, as a DM, that this would drive me crazy because it just screws up with all the rules I've grown up with. But you do not have to, according to this, surpass in the thief, which breaks every rule known to mankind for what I thought about dual classing. Thanks, why this. So, what are your thoughts on that, Sam? I just when I was studying for this, I pulled out this Bard part of Rogues Gallery, right, which is a great book, and I was like, wow, that's a mess. That's an absolute mess now.
You have to realize a lot of these characters were probably played by the time when AD&D first edition was barely a concept and not published fully. It was that they put in there because they were cool and had a history and stuff, not because they were necessarily played using the official rules.
Yes, I understand that, Gary. You don't like it. Oh, Wayne, thanks, man. Thank you. We would have monstered up the... Oh, shoot, everyone. You know what I forgot to do? I apologize. I am not on it today. Give me 1 sec. Cloudbot. Giveaways. I forgot to start this up. Boom. There we go. It started. So, there's the logistics of it. What that means, it means nothing to my game. It just doesn't. But I just wanted to go back and share that. So after going through all those thief levels and fighter levels, going through all those thief levels, then you can start as Bard with druidic spells. All right, great. Well, which a lot of people are like, I don't know if druid fits. We call them the Scald Bards in our game. So, and Gary hates them. I know Dale loves them. I know Asher, who's not on yet, loves them. So I guess it's just a matter of personal taste.
I've always loved that the prestige classes was some of the coolest thing I thought in about 3rd edition.
Yeah.
That was so much flavor and stuff. And now I abolished classes altogether in my own games.
Right. But that doesn't mean you can't make up Bards. So yes, there's
definitely. Bards, they are in some ways do cooler things than otherwise because they're not restrained by certain mechanics.
Thank you, Wayne.
Well, Anna, right? And they're basically a triple class character, which you don't see that, right? But I think it doesn't say explicitly too. It's not a standard class. It's in the appendix, and it's really optional at best. I think they say it if it doesn't jack up your campaign. If you basically petition the DM to play the game, then you can use it. But I think they take that into consideration, and probably to Gary's point. But Gary probably played with someone who punked him with a Bard.
Right, 18/99 strength, and all that stuff. And so here's what happens now with this. You're a fighter going up through 7th. You're going to specialize and double specialize with a weapon, right? Because of the Arcana rules in 1E. You're going to be a kick-ass fighter when you get up to a certain level. Then you're going to have all this thief ability. You're going to make a super powerful character. Right, because and that's the issue that you're going to. Hey, Patrick, that's the issue you're going to have that you got to watch for. So, plus you're going to have some nasty druid spells. What do? Well, I know someone on here was talking about that, and that is was that DM Angelo? Was talking about, hey, Nas, what do? So let me go off of this and go to here. This is oh shit! I didn't close it. I just sorry for swearing there. Okay. Here's my permitted classes and races, and if you come up to Bard, you're gonna see now. We got 3 here. First one is the standard Bard, the Scald. Second one's the Bard Mesmer, which is the illusionist style, and third's the Song Bard, which I think you took. Correct?
Yes.
You took the Song Bard version. Yes. So we got 2. So we actually have 2. The 2 bards we're going to talk about are not standard druidic Scald bards. And thank you, Patrick, for doing that. For Scott, I'm keeping track of the number of gift subs here, and we'll keep on cranking. So, no, you can't. It's not up to 9th card, man. It says between the 6th the 5th and 9th. It's 6 to 8. You can't go up to 9th level. Yeah, Bongo Boy Patrick is busting your stones already.
Well, he's going to get a little something.
Yeah. You can't go up to 9th card, man. You could be the highest. You could be 7th level fighter, 8th level thief. And if you look on those experience tables, that's not that much of experience. I think it's 75,000 for fighter and probably 35,000 for thief. It's about 100,000 experience points, and then you can start up. So I had a problem. My special players want to play Bards, and I'm playing 1E. And Anna and Curtis, what's one of the worst things 2nd edition brought out?
Well, you mean that they made it a standard class? Was that
the Bard in this sucks. And I want anyone to argue with me in chat that this 2E Bard is good in here. Let's see if anyone says, "Oh yeah, it's great." It's terrible.
I can't remember how it was as
awful.
A class, but yeah,
It's a weekend. It's a weekend thief. Yeah, it's fine. Gary says.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, it's a weekend thief with some limited Bard ability. Needs modifications. Exactly, John. It needs modifications. Yep. Right. So, Naz, that's my standard Bard. I have the 3 Bards. I have the Scald Bard, which has the Druidic spells. It's the Storyteller Bard. I think no one's playing a Bard in 2E. No one. 2E is why. Yeah. Well, BB, 2E is great. Just convert it all back to 1E. It dissuades people from Bards, so I love, just like 1E Monk. Gary, I understand that. But I just want you to close your eyes, okay? Just relax. Think of the Golden Gate Bridge and the 49ers. And then think of a 1st edition Monk and a 1st edition Bard, right? An expedition to Barrier Peaks. And now open your eyes. Sorry.
Wow, that's cruel.
Come on, that was funny. Come on, that was come on, man. I made a funny there. So, how's it work for a 1st level character? Yes, I see. All right. Yeah, I know. So, see this below me? We go back. We're going to go back to this. 3 types of Bards over the years evolved. My guys loved the idea, and the 1st edition Bard got too powerful, and I had to figure out how I had to turn it down, especially with hit points. It is. I agree. It is. The Bard Scald. They should say Scald next to that. The Bard Mesmer, and that's the one we're going to show next, and then the Song Bard, which I made up myself. So, Anna, have you ever taken a look at this dragon?
Which one?
I'm gonna bring it up right now. I think I think it's 58, 56. Dragon 56. Here we go. Dragon 56. Top secret module. New tunes for Bards. Real maps are best. So. You can do that, Naz. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'll also say that I know that Castles and Crusades has a decent Bard too. Okay? But for me, and if you've seen the game yesterday, and you've seen the games for the new group, the Bone Baddies are calling themselves. Oh, wow, look at that. You got it shrink too. Nice. If you've seen that, you'll know that these Bards, well, at least the one Bard, is pretty good. And pretty cool. I'll explain. I think the Bard should be its own class. Doesn't have to be under Rogues. Was there ever an alternate Bard in Dragon? Well, that's what I have right here, Gary. What page is this on? Page 5. Jeff Geltz. Never heard of him? Anyone know him? Guys, playing a Bard in one game is mind-blowing with the CNC Bard. All times. We were just talking about it, right? We're just talking about it on Facebook. Right? That's cool. Yep. There you go. Thought so. So the CNC, if you give me the book reference it is in, I may have it and I could bring it up. So just let me know what book it's in because I have most of them in PDF. I could actually pop it up and we could discuss that too. It's in the Player's Handbook. Okay. The last one. So very cool. Thank you. I'm intrigued by the 1E Bard progression looking. So I love. Look, I know Dale. Unfortunately, Dale's not here to back me up, and Curtis has played one. I think he likes it too. I want my bards to be a little bit legendary, to have come up. I don't want them to be though the most powerful characters. I want them to have some ability. I want them to be the jack of all trade fetal. They can back up as thieves. They're decent fighters. That's what I want. So how do you do that? There's a way to do it. So table here, and this is a Welsh version, I guess, of the Welsh storyteller they call it, with an illusionist. It says here, such as the incredible illusion. I can't even say that at the court of Caswallon in the Song of Rhiannon. Did I say that right? I may have said it wrong. So you're going with an illusionist style bard. I have negated the druid spells completely in this and went with its own spell listing. Right? Player's Handbook with there's all sorts of way to mod your own. And please note, my way is not the right way. It's just a way. Right? It's just a way. It's not the right way. Let me make sure it's the right one. Nope, it's not it. All right. Let me close that out. Bard spells. Let me just type in Bard spells.
Yeah, because the spells you gave me for Frederick Coldwell, they were specialized spells as well, weren't they?
They're song bard spells, yes, and we'll get to that too. Right. They're even more specialized. Here's your bard spell list. It's a little messed up because it's in Word. But notice, there are a lot of illusionists, but they're in certain spheres. Charm, illusion, I think there's 3 spheres of bard. And that's it. They go up to 6 if you're the highest level. So they're getting mostly 5th level spells. That's what they're mostly getting here. And as you can see, it's mostly illusionist spells. Some from Great Net Spellbook that I added in, but blur, mirror image, taunt, spook, sleep, some shadow spells, improved invisibility would be really cool. If you look, they get feeble mind. A lot of it's mind. Mind and illusion. There you go. That's going to be the Welsh version of the Bard that is in this Dragon magazine. But they're still going to go up in Fighter and Thief. What spells does a Bard get if they play a Stratocaster? I think you're making a joke, right? Moose?
Edward of Halen.
The game I'm running, we wanted to do old school hardcore 3-6 down the line. He rolled 2, and he got 2 hit. Oh God, I can't. Even if we're doing that way, I do max hit points. First Bard he had in the game ran and was well. That's amazing. Be sure to catch the Bongo boy. Well, you're gonna have them shortly here. So screw the druid spells. I made them all illusionist and lore and all charming. They get all that still out of the in the first edition Player's Handbook. So once again, that's the Mesmer Bard. Now we have one. We'll go to Curtis's in a second. Here is the example of this Bard who played yesterday, and you can watch her live. This is a Case Spowboy's character, Maya. All right. Now, I want you to notice some things. I'm playing with a special group. It's not my regular guys. I never let my regular guys do this. But look, her Fighter and Thief are way low. Right? And I didn't start out as a Bard. She was Fighter 4, Thief 5. She had to earn, first adventure, she had to earn her way into Thief, into Bard. Because the experience tables, I start them out with roughly between 20 and 25,000 when I start these characters out. So they start out like 5th or 4th if they're a Paladin or a Ranger or whatever. So I'm not going to start her out as a Bard, but I'm not going to penalize them. I don't want them to wait to play a brand new person who's never played D&D, wants to play a Bard. I'm not going to let her wait 7 adventures before she gets a Bard. You got to figure out how to do it. So there you go. So I lowered the minimums. Doesn't hurt anyone. In fact, it makes a more manageable character.
But you're breaking the rules, Jay.
I knew you were going to say that, Anna. I am breaking the rules. Thanks, bro. I am breaking. I did this for the Living GREYHAWK people, if you remember, a couple of years back as well. Now, Curtis's is not this way, right? Yours is. We'll bring that up in a second. So I want you to see some things. She is double specialized with longsword. She fights longsword dagger 2-weapon fighting, right? There's her. She has thief abilities, but they're locked. Yep. Saving throws are now going up as the best of fighter, best of that thief, and then mage, because she is a mesmer subclass 1. There you go. She gets hit points starting at 2nd level on Bard. She's up to 56 now. So I think she had 46 when she was fighter 4 or thief 5. So I know it's heresy. It is Legend Lord charm percent here, her singing here, and then some of the items she has on the back. And here's her, base stuff. She's got a keen longsword, second adventure. They've done 3 adventures. And then here's her spell list. Simple. 3 first, 1 second. In fact, she's a higher level bard than you were, right? You were first level, weren't you? Curtis?
2 or 3.
You were 2 or 3. Yeah, let me take a look.
Yeah, it was because I had actually might have been 1.
2.
I think I like
you were 2. Yes, during the 24 hour.
I had less than 5 spells.
Yep. We're going to show Frederick in a second. Yep. Okay. So that is how I'm thinking. I always want to tweak the game so that there's balance and it makes sense. I'm thinking of lowering the maximums down to maybe fourth level fighter. You can stop at 5th. We can do 5th to 7th, but maybe even making it a little lower, making it 4th, and then making thief 5th. That way, it's a little quicker for my guys too. So, dude, sweet, right? What questions does anyone have? What questions, Anna? Do you have comments, Curtis, or anyone else at this point? Showing that, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say my questions about the Bard class, the original Bard class especially, is like, why do you have to go through these hoops in order to learn to play the lute to inspire people?
Good question.
Yeah, meaning I'm and that's my perspective. I'm not looking at it from a mechanics perspective.
Right.
I'm looking at it from, if you have someone who is a talent of entertaining people, inspire them to great deeds. And I can understand that they have to have some sort of experience and charisma and stuff, but that raw talent in order to make them tell stories and sing and dance and entertain and so on and so forth, it shouldn't require them to go out and then wield the sword and learn about squirrels for 25 years before they come back, so to speak. But I can totally understand it if you come from the mechanics and you want that cool class to be hard to get to, so not everybody goes around being a bard, so to speak. So it's simply the matter of perspective. I put the setting and the stories of the setting and before mechanics, but D&D originally came from the other way, meaning the mechanics, and then we needed a cool place to play in, so to speak. But the game was the essential. And I'm going back to this over and over and over again because I think it's something that I rarely see hardly when anyone else talk about. But for me, it's the key aspect of how I interpret the game and the role of the rules. But that's and just like you said before, Jay, my way is not the right way. It's my way, and there's nothing wrong with playing D&D and saying that it's a game and I want to play it as well as possible and I want to have fun doing it. Then there's no wrong playing it old school or new school, or pick the school you like yourself the best, so to speak. But I think you need to be aware of which one you like, so to speak. You should be thinking about this so you know which side you want to be on, or if you want to be somewhere in the middle, because it is a spectrum. It's not a do it with this way or that way. It's like you can do it 100 different ways from this end to that end on the scale, so to speak. And Bard, I think, is one of these that tells that story the most and emphasize this the most, especially when you go from the old school Bard that was, I would say, a mechanical masterpiece in a lot of sense, but it was something that caused a lot of problems in a lot of campaigns and stuff. but it was also really, really cool because you had the coolest dudes possible in your characters that could play the B bards, so to speak. The bards were fantastic. They were awesome for being spies and doing all sorts of stuff. So thematically, they were fantastic. It just took so damn long to get there.
Right, and that's why I didn't want it to be that way, and I wanted to
Yeah.
figure out what
Mhm.
I could do to make it so this character Maya was not.
You never adopted any traits from the second edition Bard? Then
No, it's so bad. It's so
Uh-huh,
watered
you still-
down and bad. It's
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, so
when you
so all your
compromise,
Yeah.
you no one's happy, right,
Mhm.
Anna?
Yep,
So
yep.
I'm always trying to tweak my game for the better, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, and I know Gary doesn't agree, but I know Naz and Sam are partially on my side in this one. My thought is that Gary Gygax and whoever the other designers were wanted the Bard to be the storytellers that experienced adventuring.
Mhm.
That's my thought on it. And they wanted to be the ones going around, hey, this happened 10 years ago while I was, instead of right off the bat being a guy who's walking around with a minstrel.
From the Geller from the Gord books. He was kind of he was a perfect example of the Gygaxian Bard, so to speak. What Gary himself thought about bards, and it's a great character, and I love him. He's one of the best characters in the books.
And I imagine he had fighting ability and stuff, and some thieving ability in the books, right? Did he have any of that?
Yeah,
so he
definitely.
was.
He was really the jack of all trades. That he was the diplomat, the spy, the knowledgeable guy that could still handle himself, both out in the wild and in a big city. And I think that was kind of the point, to be that world savvy meddler in politics that knew the gritty stuff, the grunt work as well.
So, as an example on the charm question that came up, during the fight, if you saw the fight with the lizard men yesterday afternoon, very first fight, Maya is singing for inspiration, and then she wants to know when she can attempt to charm one. So I said it's got to be sit within 60 feet. She actually does the charm percent, which was at this point was only 22 or 20. She went up one level, and I already leveled her up, for example. And it was 22, and she was successful, and it failed at save, and she had one of the lizard men that she was charmed turned on another one of its companions. So she was successful with it, absolutely doing that, which was really neat, I thought. And it's just she's got a weird instrument, a sistrum. I didn't even know what the hell that was until Anna. Did you know what a sistrum was?
No.
Yeah, it's Roman, I guess, Roman or Greek.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's her instrument, which is cool. So it's You knew, Sam? I never knew what a sistrum was. I never heard of it. Here's another one, another design for one. It should have come up. Maybe it didn't. 1 second here. There you go. Yeah. That's a real one. As you can see, it's all greened. So, Hey, Geek Dice. More cowbell. I agree. More cowbell. So, I love to see, and this is a perfect time to discuss this. I love to see a bard that has been implemented that has some fighter ability, but the fighter ability is not going overboard. 4th level fighter is going to level. A 7th level bard fighter is going to be nasty, especially if they're double specialized all the way through to 10th, 11th, 12th level monsters. Okay, this bard at 4th level fighter is a decent fighter, but not a great fighter. The backstab on the thief's never going to go up. So I think we got a happy medium here, just as an example. All right, 3rd bard. Then we'll get into the theoretical after this. I forgot it. You damn. Sometimes I want to beat myself to death there. Let me go type this in and go to the following. So over time, spells start appearing that are bard that are cool that I don't know what the hell to do. As you can look.
What meaning do you mean appeared?
And books and references, as you can see, MF is Mage of Faerun book.
Yeah, but just because someone invented a spell somewhere doesn't mean that you have to run them in your campaign.
It doesn't, but like my guys are like, wow, these are great. These are Bard spells.
Even more the reason not to have them in your campaign, because if the players come up with something that come drag, it's like the cat dragged in. You need to.
True.
You need to be very questionable, but no, I'm just kidding.
I know you are, but
you need to vet them before.
I have, and we're always in a playtest.
Yeah.
But like these spells, Relic and Rituals 2, we know Alan Groby wrote a lot of those spells in there, right?
Yeah.
Eldritch Sorcery book. And let's see, what are the other books that I've referenced in here? The Seven Sisters book, Excalibur supplement. Most of these are Seven Sisters is not. Magic of Faerun's 2nd edition. But all the rest of them are 3rd edition stuff I back converted to 1st. So, and these are the base of the Song Bard. Okay? A bard that's based on powerful songs singing that is going to replace the Illusionist Welsh Bard and the Skald Druidic Bard. And this is our 3rd type of Bard. And this is the one that Curtis was playing during the 24-hour stream. So let's go here to Frederick. And note, because this is a higher level adventure, and notice the experience table for him, I'm like, oh my God, it's already 140. It's 140,000. I'm sorry. I can't give him 6th level, 7th level Bard. It's too much experience where all the PCs are. He's 2nd level.
Right.
So, but you got all your abilities now. So, how did it go with this character?
Well, it was great because I had never played the 1E Bard. We had kicked it around since the 80s. And I think we had one person in our group that Brett ran that had a 1E Bard, and it just didn't work real well.
Right.
So, because again, like we're talking about, it was game balance, right? Because you basically, the moment you get to be a Bard, it's really a triple class character.
Yep.
So it was kind of, where did it fit? So this campaign was really interesting for me because I got to play something I've been reading about for 35 years, right?
Exactly.
I thought it was a hilarious character to play, by the way, because I stood up and fought. I used my thief skills. I used barding skills, the dude's bongos, which was able to be used. I used that right out of the chute because we got swarmed. Remember, it was the first battle.
Yeah.
Multiple humanoids. So I pulled out these.
Yeah.
And made up some, random lyric, and they rolled and they failed their saving throws, and it helped immediately. So
it did. You did. And you have some spells here. Also, Balagorn's Iron Horn, Disappear, and Sonic Shield. But I gave you a special ability with the bongos because you have magical ones. And it is right here, the dude's bongos, because why not? Irritating noise. In a 60-foot target 60-foot radius. So yeah, and it's like they got them all. It's kind of almost like a stinking cloud for spells.
Right.
It was awesome.
Exactly. And it helped us because they came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun to be able to play a character with 3 sets of skills, really.
Yeah.
Is it something that I would play all the time? Not necessarily. That's why it's kind of a specialty character, and I think that may have been by design.
Yeah.
I'll just say I'll add this because I pulled the edition off my shelf of the dragon, and after the discussion on the article, there is a sage advice right on the other side of that article, and it talked about can you use the
oh wow,
for the fighter class, can you use a paladin or a ranger?
There you go.
It says no.
Yeah, exactly. Here it is.
As designed, which is funny because
great.
Jay, did you guys ever incorporate the late 80s, like 86, 87, 88 Lankmar campaign stuff for first edition AD&D? Did you ever utilize that stuff?
No, we did not. We never used the Lankmar stuff. No, because there's something in there for.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we played with it a little bit, almost like just an area off the map for Lankmar. We ran it for probably 6 months. It was fun to do, but we went back to the time it was still Greyhawk. The Pfefford character is actually a bard, the way it breaks down in character class, and it has the fighter class is ranger. So for purposes
Really?
of yes,
Guess
it's
it's an
a
alternate.
ranger thief, and then with the druid abilities.
Yeah.
So I remember Brett and I having those discussions at the time, and we were like, oh, that would actually be kind of a cool tweak if because I think bards have to be partially neutral as well. So
yeah, any neutral. Any
yeah.
neutral.
She could be neutral good, and
Yeah.
it would work out even
Yep.
under the strictures of a 1E player's handbook for thieves. I think it says neutral good, but rarely. Well, this would be the rarest of the rare, right? That type of character class.
Right.
So,
and they're limited. Like there's limits placed on them. So like I appreciate you bringing this up. These questions are great right here. I didn't even look at this afterwards. And I thank you for bringing this up. Like when bards start as fighters, they're limited armor they can wear. No, because they're not bards yet. So remember, they can use magical leather, or magical chain only when they become bards. And then a bard's permitted to wear magical chain and carry a sword. And it says, there's a lot of good questions here.
and the weapons are like limited. So if you,
yep.
I don't think even under first edition player's handbook, if you went strict by those rules, your fighter could use a bow, but a thief couldn't, and a bard can't.
Right, and that's why we made changes. That's why, for example, you can use sling. I think that's it for
thieves use short bows. AD&D.
Yes, short bows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in the first edition player's handbook, I don't think even short bows were.
No, it's Unearthed Arcana. It gets added in Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah, that's why I love to play Elven thieves, because they got longsword and
oh yeah, absolutely.
Bow. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely, longsword and short bow. They get when they get plus one, they hits with both of those. So. Let me bring something back up for Cardman real quick here, because I want him to show that I'm not making this up. It says between those levels. It's really written poorly. It's between, which means 6th, 7th, and 8th for thief. If you look here, look at this. There would be, if it was allowed for 9th, there'd be one here somewhere that would be a thief of 9th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. It says between 5th and 9th, Cardman, not including 9th, and that you can see that here, 6th, 7th, 8th in the original rules. 5th, 6th, and 7th for fighter. All right, but they don't have to. But it does not specifically say it has to surpass. Just to give you an idea. Okay, so the Song Bard, I've loved it, and we have one that's really high level. Bill has one, and then we have Curtis's character, it was 110 years ago, but he's back because of a quirk of time and fate that I did. So we have him, and we're gonna have he's gonna be he and Brett and the whole crew. We're gonna do that group probably post Garycon. We'll run a game with them. But there's some great spells here, and trust me, I went through all these. Back in the day, like Puppeteer. Magic Favoring Book. And once again, that's an Ed. It's probably an Ed spell. Ed probably made it. So, one day I'll use all these against him. So, all right.
But otherwise, it was a cool character to play. In practice, if you're going by the rules, that character would take so long to build up.
Yeah. Your character would.
It would, and it's that thought, like, okay, you're a fighter, and you have to have those certain attributes, right? So you have to have the statistical blocks. As a fighter, you're going to think, okay, I'm going to have to move to a thief. Is any player really thinking this is going to be my bard?
My guys do.
Because, is it, and that's the case. It is incredibly difficult. Yeah. And again, it makes you understand why it was in the back of the book.
Absolutely. Right? My guys do, because, most of them are playing... But one's been playing 30 plus years, and the rest of them playing 40 years. So that's a snip in time for them, right? But I can see how frustrating this would be for the I want it now crowd. And I had to figure out, and I did kind of, what I'm going to do for my special groups. And that is this level at 4-5. I can make them 4-5-0 bard. They're still a thief. They got to run this last adventure to get their surpassing over here in thief. Then it'll make them first level. So they got to do it for one. Oh, hey, Yoav. Thanks, man. Good to see you. Gandalf is 122 is Yoav. Good to see you, man. So those are the three. Frederick was a really cool character, and Brett didn't want to go this route. He went fighter thief. with his character.
I was surprised. I thought
Yeah.
he'd do it. He
Yeah.
goes, nah, I'll go Fighter Thief. He's a big Erebus guy.
Right.
And
He likes
that's
that.
kind of
Yeah.
what he thought. So
Very cool.
We're still on Persephone's trail.
Well, that's going to happen. We're going to have an adventure. Trust me. I got a lot of great ideas with that. So, yeah. Dude, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, man. I got a bolt.
Curtis, thanks for coming on. That was awesome, man. Thank you for spending that time with us.
Hey. Call Persephone, and we're going to track her down. Because she stole that loot from us. We're going to make sure she goes down. We hate you, Persephone. There you go. All right. See you guys.
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you. That was awesome. Yes, the Bongo Boy. That group, I had so much. Like, I was unconscious. Tim and I were mentally gone during that third game. So we were really goofy during the 24-hour stream. But I had a lot of fun with that group. That group had a lot of neutrals in it, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of, cutthroat stuff. And I was like, how? And none of them died. I'm thinking, well, some got put in the, none of them died. I'm thinking, how can I bring these guys back? And then, wow, I'll put them in a mirror life trapping. And that's what happened. So now they're back. All right. So, Anna, a lot of you will say, why are you going to all this trouble, Jay? Like Gary's like, just why? Patrick said, why don't you do a 3.5 Bard? I have a little Len in me. Not a whole Len the Kafka, but a little bit. I want to stay traditional to what Gary was doing, but I want to improve on it so that it makes sense and it works in my game. If I wanted to be a true, and even Gary didn't do this, I would use weapon speed factor and all that other bullshit that I've never used. Or armor class pluses versus weapon versus armor class. And I would chunk my game down and I'd be an old grognard playing and I'd have no viewers on Twitch. Because it would be boring.
Have a few.
A few, like 10. Because it would be boring, right? I want to have a fun, fast-moving game. And so, actually, this is going to sound, I don't want this to sound arrogant. Playing on Twitch and playing at conventions where I have 4 hours to play and I want everyone to have a good time has helped me become a better game. Yeah, exactly. You have a fast-moving, entertaining, fun game for everyone. And that's what I'm trying to figure out how I can do this with the Bard. And that's what we've done. And we have 3 options for Bard now. And, I let Curtis choose what type he wanted to play. I let Case choose what type she wanted to play for Maya. And she chose the Mesmer Bard, the Illusionist style. And that's it. You want to have fun. So, I don't know. How about you with your Bard, like bardic abilities? What's going to happen in your game?
In Hawktales, it's kind of interesting. First of all, since there's no classes, it's a separate thing. Meaning, bardic inspiration, you can learn the perform skill if you just want to have fun playing with the lute or harp or just go around singing, entertaining, but you can also do some cool stuff even in combat with perform. You can kind of do trick shots and there's a bunch of stuff like that. But the key thing you can do with the perform skill is you can learn bardic inspiration. You can take it to the next level. You can learn to simply put people in awe at the battlefield. You put morale up, so to speak. And the basic feature with bardic inspiration is that there is a meta currency that I have in Hawktales called exertion. That's simply when you want to do something, whether if you're a paladin or you believe in a god, and God gives you the smiting ability or lay on hands, for instance, or you're an evil cleric and use harm and stuff, then you use exertion for that. The same thing if you want to do some extra strenuous work on the battlefield, you use exertion. And so you get, when you start, you get 6 points of exertion, and then that goes up slowly. So when you're like 20th level, you get 12 points per day. And those points, you have to share them with stuff, a lot of stuff, so to speak. So that means that it's a currency. You have to make sure you don't overspend it. But bardic inspiration can do 2 things. It can either give you these exertion points per minute, or you can front load them. So you can, if you're a low level, first level fledgling little bard standing there on your battlefield with your little lute and playing a song, and when you then you can front load, so you can give your fellow players, you can give them 4 extra exertion points each by you spending 1 yourself. So you burning your resources inspire the others to be able to do more. And that means, but what happens is that as you grow up as a bard and you learn more and more, you can spend 1 exertion point and you can give them lots of it. So if you take the top level bards, they can work not only within 30 feet, they can work up to a couple of 100 feet, and they can give lots of allies a lot of exertion bonuses, so to speak. And one of the key things this is not only for the good guys, it's also for the evil guys, and this is where a lot of the fun comes in. and I put in, I teased Jay with talking about orchestras, meaning orchestras, and so you can have orcish bards and then humanoid bards and others evil bards. So you can imagine a set of orcish drummers and stuff, and they are pumping out what is inspiring stuff for them. And that means that you can have orc barbarians equivalent that have rage, and you give them rage that don't end, and so they can rage and become almost indomitable, so to speak, while the bards goes on. So if you meet, yeah,
there's different types of singing in your game to make different enhancements.
Well, yeah, the base enhancement you do is that you give your allies exertion. But then you can learn different battle hymns to learn different things. If you're evil one, you can instill fear, or you can provide bonus advantages to saving throws and stuff like that. You can make them run faster and overcome fear and stuff like that. You can even give them advantage on death saves. So you can literally have them on their dying when they're like dying, you can give them a help to stay in life and come back again and fight for another minute or two, so to speak. So you can help them through the battles, so to speak. You can guide them by playing different songs, so you can learn them. So you help your own and you can outcompete the other ones, so to speak. And so to have an army or a large battle can be twice or 3 times more effective with having a bunch of a band of bards that will be able to support them, because bards can gang up in order to cover a larger area and more. They can sing, they can use the same tune over a larger area and more of them. So you can have like a band of bards that can put a whole battlefield on alert, so to speak, and help them out. And that means that if face up, if IUs comes and you can have 500 humanoids coming, and they will be enraged to run faster, get temporary hit points and all sorts of stuff, and they will keep going as long as those drums and stuff goes in the background. They keep going, and they will be damn difficult to take out, because they will fight almost beyond death while this is going on. It's like the bagpipes in the saying of the Scots: as long as they heard the bagpipes, they fought. So it's that's the key. So there will be an incentive to take them out, so to speak. So some good archers with good sniping ability and stuff will be vital in battles like that, so you can take them out. Yeah.
And we've all seen movies where the orcish drums are really causing great trouble in large battles.
Yeah. You can see the equivalent of the good side, meaning the Shieldlanders in my example in my campaign. They can have bards that are blowing the trumpets and doing their drums in order to make their paladins, because they use exertion to use smiting ability, which means that they can basically go on smite every round and keep doing it. As long as the bards are there giving them inspiration, they can, and they will go on, and Heronius will be on their side, and they will go on, they can lay on hands, and they can do like that. They can keep spending that. They can preload them with more of that, and then they can keep doing it, so to speak. So it's a way of, for short term, you can enhance the abilities. You can go way beyond what you normally can do. So you basically extend the number of times you can do all sorts of features. That's a bit, and then boost or your allies with better saves and stuff like that, advantages to various saves and stuff. That's the the gist of their bardic ability. And then characters who want to be bards, they simply have to apply for the job, so to speak. They have to know that they can do that, and some fighting ability and some other stuff is probably not a dumb idea to have, as well as the bardic inspiration ability. But a lot of these high-level bards, I will probably see them as NPCs as well as player characters. But it will be any team or like party, it will be smart to have a bard with you, because they can boost, the bard's primary job is to make the rest of the party better,
Absolutely,
so to speak. So and that's definitely true in Hawktail rules as well, very much so, that they are an asset. But anyone can, if they spend some of their hard-earned XP on learning things, they can spend it on bardic inspiration, whether they cast wizard spells or fight in armor or something else on the side, so to speak. So I would see that being if you want to be the best battle bard possible, that will take at least half of your ability, so to speak. So if you want to be a wizard or a fighter or a roguish kind of skulky character, that means that you will be half as good as compared to an arch wizard. But on the other hand, you will be damn useful on the battlefield for other reasons too. So that kind of compensates for it. So I think it can be a lot of fun. If you want to, as a player, you want to play that ultimate support character, bardic inspiration is a good one. Plus performance and stuff gives you other skill bonuses too. There are derived skills, so you can learn other stuff. That is good too. So performance is not a dead end, but it could be an opening. And also in game, meaning if you want to work at a court, every court want to have a bard. Every king wants to have a master bard at their court in order to, because they want to cheer up their underlings and inspire them and stuff. So you can be sure to have a good job if you're a good bard. Yeah, and that's basically it. It's not a class mechanical sense. Bard is a job that you game in setting. Meaning you can be awesome at playing instrument and inspire people, but you can't call yourself a bard until the king or baron or someone has employed you and given you the title of bard.
So you can't be a wandering vagabond type?
Oh yeah, you can be, but if you start calling, you say, "Oh, I'm this masterful bard." If you're in the wrong kingdom, the king or the baron or the prince or something might say, "No, it's my court bard. That's the only allowed bard in the kingdom, and he is the best bard."
What if you're part of an organization?
Oh, then definitely.
I'm not talking like just like the Harpers have a lot of bards in it, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
And GREYHAWK, there are those organizations that are actually a lot of storytellers and stuff that we talked about in the other one. I'm just curious.
It's simply that in that you can learn the skill. Anyone can do that, so to speak. If you just have the prerequisite, spend the time, you can learn it. But what I mean with bard is not the skill you have. Bard is the title, so to speak.
Okay.
You can, in some places they probably don't care. Meaning a big city like GREYHAWK, they probably want lots of bards that keep the taverns, inns, and various establishment. If you can just bring in money and pay a fee, you can call yourself bard or probably whatever you want. But you might go to another country and the king or the prince might be very keen on saying, no, only the ones I employ and give the titles. It depends on where you are, whether you want or can call yourself a bard without being, and it also depending on who you serve. Meaning if you go to IUs might hire you if you're willing to be loyal to him, if you have that skill. But on the other hand, if you're disloyal to him, then your head is probably on a.
I don't know how much of a sense of humor Ayus has either. So.
Oh, I think he has a great sense of humor as long as it's to his benefit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
BB, answering your question, this should answer your question here. Notice I have the squiggly line next to it all. It's always, I want special. If you're going to play a jester, which most of my jesters are NPCs because they're tough to PC. But if you're going to play that jester class, it is right here. And it is its own. But it's not a bard. It's its own class. Okay?
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between the bard and the jester?
I'm going to
sorry.
Greatest dragon it's okay. The greatest dragon magazine of all time, in my opinion, is Dragon number 60. In this is the Jester, and guess who made the Jester?
Was it Lakovka?
Roger Moore.
Oh, okay. The other great, awesome.
I believe it's Roger Moore. It's
okay.
This article's this dragon's almost all Roger Moore. So what chock full of everything, including all the elven the elven point of view, all about elves, right? Elven point of view. This is all Roger.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. All right. Elven point of view. We'll just scroll through here. Gods of the Elves. Another great. I mean, this is like gold for me when I was a kid. Great deities that Roger could all of them used them.
Which issue was this?
60. This is
60.
My opinion, the best dragon of all time. This is number 60. Okay. By far. All the gods of the elves, the elven point of view, the half elven point of view, Sage Advice, which is half elven point of view, which is not Best of, I don't know why, but this one's not Best of Dragon Volume 3 with all the other stuff. It should be. But this half elven point of view article is not in the Best of Dragon like all the other stuff. All right, now let's continue here. Cantrips. This is starting to prep for Arcana. So all the cantrips that are going on Arcana are here. Tim loves cantrips. It's illusionist and mage cantrips. I don't use them, but that doesn't mean you don't. You can use them at your leisure. Going down here. Ed Greenwood's in here, talking about gunpowder in D&D. This is Ed's article. We should get Ed on. Well, Ed will be back very shortly, as we know. He's going to be on during Aftermath, one of Tim's favorite games. Too bad. Gun tables. All right, let's keep on going here. Werewolf. I think that's that is a story. Yep. All right, let's keep going here. Getting to it. Question: how much about it's about science? Gaming magazine. Flight of the Boodles. That's one of who's the guy who does the board games? For TSR, the TSR board game guy. Yeah, a lot of it, almost all of it. Yeah. Tom Wham game. Thank you, Michael. My brain shut off there for a second. Keep on going here. Here it is. Roger Moore, the Jester. A clever, charismatic new NPC. I allow it as a PC class. They are terrible thieves. They get very limited ability. Look at level title. Clown, comic, buffoon. They get very limited spells. They get pickpockets and climb walls. They can't move silently. They can't find traps.
Level up to 8. Come on.
8th level illusionist. Yeah. At 17th. At 17th level Jester, Anna. If you spent your time becoming a 17th level Jester, I like it as a RP annoyance character. And you've seen me. I have played Jesters. I just had a gnome Jester in the one group. Mm-hmm. Chudley was his name. So I have used Jesters, but so the Jester's in here. They can catch objects. They're okay. They're not. They can use all sorts of weird. They can control, like a one-on-oner. They can almost control. That's a very powerful thing. But they're not. They can't backstab. So that's the Jester. And okay, they're not bards. I'm going to share with you this, which is a diamond in the rough. That is one of my favorite things. That is, how every campaign, I always like to have my classes have something that is so special, makes it that class is unique. Like fighters in my game could do the battle shout and demoralizing shout, right? Okay. Here it is. You have to learn this from a higher level bard, and it's on 2 pages. Arthur Collins, so Snowlock. Or now it's Andy Collins, so. Diarmuid's Last Jest is a special draw. It's in this art. It should be in with the Bard one in 56, but it's not. This is a story a Bard can tell that can actually have its targets die laughing. So, and you go through here, and it's a story. It just starts up, and he goes, it's a bard on his dying bed. He takes all the awful people in town, the lords, the stuck-up nobles, and all, brings them around to his bed, and he tells them one last story. And Diarmuid's Last Jest is probably the most powerful of all bardic special abilities. When told properly by a trained bard, has the awesome ability to make the hearers literally die laughing. To tell the jest takes 5 rounds. The bard's hands must be free, and he must be unencumbered. The speaker must converse freely in the hearer's native tongue, or for the jest to have its full effect, telling it in a tongue not native to the hearer's jest, not even a bonus of saving throw. So, you must roll your charm percent after telling it. You can only do this once per every level that you have attained. So you can only do this once. So you're 6th level, and you've learned this. You can only do it once while you're 6th. That's how powerful it is. And you gotta have you can't do it during combat. Obviously, you're doing it in a bar, and you can give mass saving throws to a crowd. Yeah, when the bard rolls his charm percentage, and it's his or her, everyone, you understand that, or lower, and the hearer fails his saving throw, the hearer is helpless with laughter and will die within 7. You ever hear it hurts so bad you're laughing? Mm-hmm. There you go.
Well, that's where the Tasha's hideous laughter comes from.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. But this is
I broke
deadly.
my ribs, and it was then true, because when I laughed, it hurts like hell.
Exactly.
And it was so funny. I laughed at everything, and everybody was making fun and jokes with me, and I laughed so much, and it hurt like hell. So yeah.
So if the hearer makes a saving throw, they're helpless with laughter and then weak afterwards, so they survive. They make their save. If you fail your charm percentage and they fail their saving throw, they'll just laugh because it's funny. All right. And if you fail your charm and they make a saving throw, they are angered or scornful because you really botched it. And then here's some of the adjustments. Healer's intelligence low, +1. If you have high intelligence, like everyone does with player characters, you're -2 on your save. More intelligent healers can pick up more on subtleties than a comparatively simple healer can. You get the joke. And there's some funny things here. Sphinxes save at -2. Certain undead might be subject, but get a +5. Dragons you can't kill with it, but they'll be amused. So there you go. It's an oral tradition. So, high-level bards in my campaign, I know of 3 that know this now. Low-level bards can seek them out. What it is when you go up in level, if you're attempting to seek it out, you must roll your legend lore percent to learn it each level. And you can only do it when you level up. So far, like, for example, I didn't give it to Frederick or Maya yet because it hasn't come in the course of gameplay. It's one of those things where it's like a duelist in my game, right? The duelist can teach you to have pluses weapons. You got to go find this bard. There's one in Cowerwood, the highest level bard in the game, who knows this. But you got to get his attention, and you got to figure out a way to convince him to teach it to you. Part of the game plan. Because it's so special. Because imagine killing someone with a joke. I think it's one of the best pieces of individual. It's such a special ability that this is written up here, and it's on 1 page, right? Well, it's split on 2 pages, but it's really 1 page. One of the coolest things I've ever found in a Dragon magazine, and we've added it in. And now you got it, and then of course, here's You've Been Had in this article too. Now we have You Were Taken, so that's how great a Dragon 60 is. And it's almost, this is Roger Moore too. The whole thing is Roger Moore for the most part, except for the Last Jest. It's crazy. And then they got more jokes here. The Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah,
Donald
fantastic
Duck.
issues.
Yeah, the Tasmanian
such
Devil.
A wonderful work.
The Martian.
Putting all this together. Yeah.
Jeremy, how come Tony hasn't got back to me about the game on the 12th? She started typing in to let me know. I said something to her as well that you'd find interesting. So just let me know. Okay. There you go. All right. So I just want to say I love 60. One of my favorites. We'll have Roger back on sometime to give him his accolades for it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Diarmuid's Last Jest. Don't overdo it in your campaign. If you have, say you have 100 PCs in your campaign, or 10 PCs in your It probably is an April Fool's issue. 10 PCs in your campaign. You have 2 bards. They both should not have this. 1 bard should have it. And they had to go to hell and high water to get it. So Anna, as far as you said you wanted to talk about high level bards.
Well, it's kind of they can inspire whole battlefields. So I kind of mentioned a little bit, but I think that's they can inspire a whole battlefield. They can swing bigger events. So it's more than just boost the party, so to speak. They can be the ones that can swing a whole assembly in like a courtroom, or they can charm things, and they can give the enemy they can change things more on a larger scale. You can imagine them inspire things like a whole town or something like that. They can do they can swing things, give a party an advantage on social checks for a whole town or something like that. So there's a bunch of checks like that can work over time, and it can be really beneficial to have a bard in that sense. And might anger and make enemies act irrational and stuff like that too. So I can see them being masters of a lot of these social skills they can utilize, that can give more long-term and bigger picture than just the immediate party at the scene, so to speak. And it might also be probably one of the best ways of earning some extra income. If you want your character to be rich and influential, then that side might be really, really beneficial. It's probably one of the easiest way to get recognized and get a good place up and close to the power, so to speak, just to whisper in the ear of the king or the prince or some other mighty, then to be a court bard or just be a very talented bard or have those abilities is probably the right way to go. A very quick way to power.
So Curtis, yes, that's a great question, because bards can be any neutral, and neutral evil is one. There was a bard gone wrong, so wrong that he actually joined the Dark Brotherhood organization because he was pissed off at. We're talking about this bard in Carwood.
What's the alignment? Any alignment restrictions on your
neutral? So neutral of any point. So neutral evil, neutral good, lawful neutral, neutral. They gotta have some kind of neutral in them. Yeah. So.
I don't have alignment per the pure classical sense when it comes to this. So bards can be, they can go anywhere, so to speak. They can have good morals or low. They can entertain or inspire the worst or the best in the world, so to speak. So they can work for, some of them work for money only, or fame for themselves, and can have really sinister motives with it. And some of them can work for the bad guys, but maybe say an orc bard, orcish or other humanoid bard, they might be the assistant to the chief
Dice Legends,
something like that. They don't necessarily have to be overly evil themselves. They might be simply be.
Thank you.
If you're in the orc tribe, it might be one of the less evil jobs you can get, so to speak. But you still want to be in the tribe. So, yeah.
Please, everyone, go follow Vahim and Dice Legends.
Dice Legends.
They're
Welcome.
Great channel, great people. Yep. Thank you so very much for coming in. We are talking bards tonight of all editions, but a lot of old school and just ideas for bards. It's great to see you. And there is a giveaway, Classic D&D reprint. Feel free, if you're sticking around, to sign up ! Drawing for that. It is we have some great things, and GREYHAWK's going into Dungeon Master's Guide, so we have positioned ourselves to be the go-to stream community for all that is GREYHAWK when that comes out very shortly, right? In a couple, 2 months? So
then we should probably look at the 5e bard.
Oh my God! Here comes John. Here comes Blue Box as well at the same time. Yes. So
awesome.
I would have loved to. I was hoping to try and get Will on, but because he's done some bard stuff. But yeah, good to see you. And Lee, it's good to see you too. Lee, I pumped up your game, trying to get you more people as well. Rory, good to see you as well. I'm glad to see you on. Hope things are going well for you. I talked to John 2 days ago. I need to talk to John again a little bit more. So good to see you both Dice Legends and Blue Box. Exclamation point drawing for the giveaway. I'm also matching all gift subs during September, each talk show I have. So already I'm matching 10 for tonight. So feel free, and yep, it's all good. All right, I want to show you a couple things as an example here. Let's go to the Songbard list, okay, and let's do some examples. We're going to go to, and these are 3rd edition spells back converted to 1st, so you can always convert these to 5th. There's no reason you can't. We'll go here. Battle Cry, Patrick, thanks, man. Let's see if we can get a second hype train going. I think we're past an hour. It should pop up again. Battle Cry RR 52. So let me go here. And let's just take a look at, I thought I brought that up. Give me 1 second. Here it is. All right, so here is the, and we're looking at Relic and Rituals book. Gary Gygax did the preface. So Battle Cry should be right here. Just to give you an idea of some of the power of 3rd edition spells. Battle Cry 52. Oh, I went past it. I apologize. Here it is. Stuns opponents in the current area. Simple. Sonic Bard 2, look, I have a Bard, and here you always go to the spell effect. Here's the description. When caster screams its battle cry, all creatures of 6 or fewer in a cone area in front of the caster must make a fortitude. I do a spell save, old school, or be stunned for 1 round. Simple. A stunned creature cannot act and loses any dexterity modifiers or armor class. Attackers gain a +2 to attack it. It's an area effect cone, so you get a lot. Say there's a whole, oh, Rascal, thanks, man. So you can get a whole community of, or a whole, say there's a whole group of orcs charging you, as an example. There you go. A simple spell there, Battle Cry. Let me do one more. Just give me some examples. Let's go a little higher level. Let's go to here. Dirge of Woe. RR, page 66, 67. It's right here on the same book. So let's go here. You have Balgun's Ironhorn. That's from Mage of Faerun book. Disappear and Sonic Shield. Yep, you did. Absolutely. I just popped this one up. I got to get the Mage of Faerun book up. I think I have the PDF for that. I can do that. Dirge. Said, and we all know Alan Crowley wrote a lot of these, which is crazy. And, it's just like, wow, I didn't know that after all these years. Dirge. Here it is. Dirge of Woe. Causes nearby creatures to lapse into despair. Alright. It's a haunting and melancholic melody. If you don't know, oh, I lost Anna. Anna will pop back on. I lost Anna. She must have lost her Zoom. Hallow Faust is a great book, if you know that. Done by Sword and Sorcery. It's in the City of Necromancers. It's a great reference. All creatures within 30 feet of the caster that fail their saving throw. So this is our Songbard effect. Despairing creatures will stop what they are doing and 50% likely to drop whatever they are holding. All affected creatures take no action other than to lament their misfortune for as long as the bard is playing. So it's a great Songbard spell. Curtis's character, Frederick, does not have that yet because it's a 3rd level bard spell. So let me check on the... as we're hopping up here. 1, 6, 7, 10. Okay, I'm doing it. And it will probably send me a message. Or Zoom popped out. It's a great community here, everyone. If you don't know me, and you come over from Dice Legends, I've been streaming 6 years. My game campaign is in year 44 in GREYHAWK. Oh my God, I should go back to the other screen. We don't want to have that. And the GREYHAWK community is a great community. We're having a lot of fun, and we're excited about the 5e book coming out in Dungeon Master's Guide because we think it'll open it up a lot of people inquiring about the setting. So we're talking about Bards. 1st edition Bards I've created, and also Anna's got some for her 5th edition Hawktail setting she is doing. So hopefully she doesn't have a power outage or something. Let me see. Oh, she's typing into me in Discord. I just said she may have had a brownout. She's being in California. Let me see if I got Major Faerun in here. Magic of Faerun. Because Balagorn's Ironhorn's cool. So let me see. I don't know if I have that book here. And PDF. That one I don't think I have. I have it downstairs, but I don't think I have it in PDF to bring it up. I don't. Sorry about that, Curtis. I do not have that one. Less power, no internet. So computer. All right. All right. So Anna's whole power went out. So I am going to run solo for the rest until Anna is able to come on, or if the ever mysterious Tim is able to hop on. So I am going to run as well as I can here with solo here to pay up. Thanks, man. Thank you so very much. You're all wonderful with that. All right, so give me some questions, please, from the audience on Bards. Additions. I got a couple other things we can discuss, but oh gosh, Vamp, thanks, man. Let's bring up this. We can talk about this. Well, 3rd edition. Okay, this is a good book. There's a lot of these that were based, and you probably can't see me because it's covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the shout out up top, where Anna should be. There you go. That works. Song and Silence. This is a guidebook to Bards and Rogues from 3rd edition. Are there any Bard orders in GREYHAWK? Elaborate. What do you mean by that, Alex? Is order a 5th edition term? Because if it is, you're asking the wrong guy. You know that. So, what are the biggest struggles you encounter with PC Bards? Great question. So, like companies. Orders! Oh, like Order of Ulick and stuff. Oh, so Bards are allowed in the Order of Ulick in my campaign. You mean knighthoods or organizations. You mean like a Harper order. Well, in my game, Bards, as long as they're of good alignment, the neutral good, they're allowed in the campaign, in the order. It's not a problem. My guess is, if we were to bring that up, great question. Then I'm going to go to Curtis's next on the problems that arise. Give me 1 second here. Let's go to Order of Ulick, and we'll take a look and see if we can find any Bards real quick. All right, comes Anna. That didn't take long. Good for her. She got zoinked. That was weird, huh?
Well, yeah, we have 108 degrees or 110
Oh,
degrees.
is it? Wow.
Oh, yeah. So we had a power glitch. So the power went out for like a minute before it came back again. And the thing is, I have my main computer is on a UPS, so I have power supply. Then that lasts for like an hour. So the problem is my secondary computer and the internet was not on it. So that one went down. So we lost internet for like a minute or two before it resets. Yeah, reset things. So now I'm back again, and hopefully we'll see if there's more. We haven't had any. This is the first power glitch we've had, but now it's been so hot for a few days that it's going to be the occasional glitch when so many people have like over 100 degrees in LA. So that's when everybody's running their air conditioner at max. That kind of costs.
So once again, we're going to do the same thing I did the other night. We're doubling the giveaway. Winner will get choice of 2 reprints because of so many. This is the second hype train we're up, so no problem. All right, so why won't my DM let me play a level 1 1st edition Bard in his 5th edition campaign? Gronk, that's on your DM. I know you're probably saying that facetiously. So if you notice there are no current active Bards in the Order of Ulick. So my guess is that they are all in the inactive list. Inactive knights. Let me take a look. Here. Here's one, Valeria. Oh yes, that's Valeria is a knockoff Valeria of Conan. Exactly. So you understand. 7th fighter, 7th thief, 13th level bard. So there's one. I thought there was another one. Here, mulch. Oh yeah. So Walt's character, Pete Moss, is a high-level archer, and he has all his sons. They're all named after Compost, right? He actually has a son named Compost. He has Mulch, Compost, and another
awesome.
name. Yeah. So here's Mulch. 7th fighter, 8th thief, 12th bard. Okay, both on the inactive list. So there you go. All right. So they do exist. They're just on the inactive list. All right. So, yeah. Keep that rolling there. Thank you all for the hype train. Really appreciate your Sphagnum Moss. Yeah. Well, yeah. Pete Moss. He has another one. Pete Moss, mulch, and there's one more. I can't. Compost. Pete Moss, and then mulch and compost, and I forget what the third son's name is. There's another one. Oh my gosh. Walton usually pops on at this time. I'm getting old. All right. So, Curtis, here's the number one problem. Here's some big problems with the Bard. How do I solve the problem? I know we're just rocking and rolling. I'm answering some questions for the audience.
Yeah,
here.
that's good. That's great. Yeah.
So I'm going to bring your character back up and explain how I've kind of balanced this out. So let's go here. We'll keep that up to. I don't have yours up. I thought I did. Let me bring it back up, and then I'm going to show you. Thank you all, everyone, for that hype train. Frederick. Here we go. Okay. Your hit points are 78. Now, you got hit points for up to 7th levels of fighter with no con bonus, right? 1 level of thief because it surpassed your previous level of fighter. At that point, you're dual class. So that's 8. That's 8 levels, right? You do have toughness, so you gain 1 hit point per level there. And then at Bard, at first level Bard, you don't get hit points, but you immediately start gaining hit points as you start at 2nd level Bard up as the rules are set, which I think is a real major oversight with the way everyone's going up to fighter, and then if they go up to 7th level fighter and they have a con bonus, and they could have 75 hit points, and then you start giving Bards at 2nd level their die 6 with their con bonus. We're running into Bards with 120, 130 hit points. I think it's too much. And I am thinking that new Bards that go up to 7th and fighter, that have 7th, I think I'm not going to give them Bard hit points till they surpass the fighter and thief. Does that make sense? I think the hit points are too much. My guys are really fighting me on this.
How much hit points is too much?
Well, I know one Bard drop. You can't. How do you drop the con, George? What do you do? Kill the character? I know there's a Bard with 144 hit points in my game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. When you think of a 10th level fighter, a 10th level dwarf fighter that holds its 18 con, would have at maximum and toughness 15 points per level, which is not real.
So what? So then you have to make sure that they have smaller hit dice, that they use D6s or something instead.
So what? I'm gonna just go. Oh, okay, fighters, you only get die 6 instead of die 10.
Well,
the Bards do get die 6.
Yeah,
but they get the con bonus. So imagine this. So he does. Notice he has 12 con.
But doesn't everyone get con bonus?
No, in old school at 15 and up, you get con bonus. 15.
Oh con. yeah, but what I meant, everybody with high con gets con bonus.
Right, but everyone doesn't get this is like a triple class character.
Mm-hmm.
A double class character here, 7th level fighter. The thief does not get hit points until it surpasses fighter. So he only got 1 thief hit die here. But when they start back up at Bard, they don't get a hit die at first, but they start getting hit die at 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. That's the glitch.
But then you just change the rules for when and how they get hit dice.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But my guys are fighting me on it.
Well,
so what I've done is player character ones for these special groups that I'm doing. These 2 characters. Notice Frederick doesn't get a con bonus. I made sure ahead of time he didn't have that con bonus. If we go back to Maya, 10 con, no con bonus. Sam, do you see my problem? That 17 con is a +2. Every level, Frederick would go up with a die 6.
That's what you should get from having a high con.
Right, and now this.
But you get it, yeah. But this is the interesting.
Yes.
And people who only played later editions need to understand it was kind of so different. So what level is compared one class to the other? The straight a character has straight 10 is like 10th level fighter or whatever single class. Or this one who has 3 classes.
This one's way better.
What level would that be? Yeah, would be so multi-class? There's an advantage to multi-class.
This is not multi. This is a special circumstance. Okay. A dual class character like this, a 7 fighter, 8 thief, is no big deal. All right, let's do max. 7 fighter, 10 hit points. Has toughness. That adds 1. 11. 11 times 7, 77. Okay, remember that 77 in fighter. A 10th level fighter. Same with no con bonus, but the toughness can go get it's 9 hit dice, which is 100, which is 99 hit points. Then another 3 plus the toughness 4, so it's 104. A 10th level fighter can have. Now watch this. 7th level fighter, we said 77. Die 6 plus 1 for thief. That's another 7.
How many thief levels?
8 thieves levels, but you only get it for 1 hit die.
That's a very high level character. That's like 70. What was it? 7 and 8.
Yeah, but that's equivalent. That's not a lot of experience.
That's 15.
No, it's not.
But
no,
it's not 15th
level.
No,
because I'm going to show you the way experience works in first edition.
Oh yeah,
150.
That's
150. That's an 8th level fighter.
Yeah, but I was going to say then change the XP tables then.
Change the entire XP tables for everything for first edition.
Well, you need to if you get these. But what I mean is that the system has stupidities built in from
the get-go. It does.
So you need to find out where the system, where the problem occurs from the big get-go, so to speak.
Yes.
And then change it.
You see my dilemma. So this is my solution. If this bard now going up to 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, before it surpasses thief, that's another 7 hit die. 6 times 3 con bonus plus the toughness. That's another 63 hit points possible.
Yeah.
If I started surpassing the thief at 9th, then it starts getting die 6s again. I can live with that. But now I've eliminated 60 hit points or whatever. You see where the issue is? The issue is it shouldn't have started to get them until it surpasses the other levels, just like 2nd edition works.
You need to rework the rules, Jim.
I have reworked the rules. The problem is when I rework the rules and all of my players hate what I've done, who loses? Me.
Well, you just but the thing is that you pampered your players with old rules that have so many inconsistencies in them for 40 years. Now you have to suffer for it. Yeah, that's why I have a hard time filling the table, because I kind of trying to foresee these problems, but not painting myself in a corner to begin with. I'm trying to stay in all corners at one go, which is not easy. My system will have a heck of a lot of other problems in it, so for sure. But this is probably one of the things that I will not have.
Yeah.
And because this is one of the things I really foreseen, and this is one of the biggest problems I've had with D&D since first edition. This type of you put little silos, and it's interesting because first you silo all the classes into their own little silo, and then as soon as you want to mix and match a little bit, you get into all of this problem, and you want to overcome something that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been there in the first place. But that's another issue. So it's kind of tough. Yeah.
So Curtis knows. Curtis says it exactly. And how do I lose? I'm being a little bit wary, but like Curtis has played with my guys the last 2 weeks. Cardman. So here's it is. It doesn't. The fighter and thief is fine, but when they start getting dice as a bard at 2nd level, 3rd level, 4th level, that's where it stacks up super. That's the issue.
Don't give them bard.
I understand that, and I agree. But my guys don't want me to make that change. Hence why I lose. Because what am I going to do? Just go, all right, guys, I did it, and then they're going to be all pissed off. Because normally it's a consensus of our group because we've been playing together for 40 years.
But do the other way then. Give the fighters and stuff more hit points.
No, because then that skews everything else. No,
Okay.
I'm not. No, because it's not that important. What I've done though is I've figured out. I'm going to make sure Frederick and Maya and anyone else who wants to play a bard who's a special guest character, you're not going to have a con bonus, and that helps. Okay. I'm just courtesy asked, what's the number one issue? The number one issue is my bards get too many hit points. That's my number one issue. So I have
relative to
the rest of the characters in the campaign.
Yeah.
Makes
Is
Bard
that the only one that has these kind of issues? Or
it's the only one that has this issue. Hey Harley,
Okay.
it's the only one that has this issue. So just
other dual classers will
dual
not
classers
be
it doesn't because they don't get more hit dice until they surpass the existing level
Yeah.
of the previous class.
But then you should just make sure that the bard follows the same dual class rules.
That's
as
what
all
I've
the
tried to
dual class.
implement, and they've nixed me on it. So
Yeah.
yes, agreeing for the fighter thief levels, but the players are looking hit points with bard levels you can add straight on. Right, you get them at second, not at first, Cardman, but starting at second they get die 6. And if you have a con bonus, it's 2 hit points minimum. And if I have the toughness, it's another point because I've given that feed out.
But
so that's
this is tough. So what I've done in Hawktails is that I've given, if you want bigger hit dice, you have to basically expense.
Thank you for all the follows.
Spend some XP on getting it, so to speak. That means that you will learn something else. You have to skip something else in order to you have to sacrifice a little bit of your fighting ability or something else in order to get a bigger hit die. But you can be a spellcaster and have a bigger hit die. It's
Cool,
just
Michael.
like I want my character to have more stamina, and then you put in more on Constitution and a bigger hit die. But that means that you have to sacrifice. Instead of learning a lot of things, you just go around saying, I don't give a crap about pain and whatever. And you have a character who can take a lot of pain and beating, but might be a little bit less effective at dealing it, so to speak. So it's simply, you can't learn everything in the game. Your character can't be the best at everything. So you have to make a compromise. But the interesting thing with the rules is that it's not a compromise you make originally when you build the character before the game starts. It's a compromise you can tweak during the campaign as it evolves, so to speak. And you can say, well, I want to go, you don't need to decide that I want a D12 at the start of your character. You can simply, after a while, you realize that, damn, I want my character to have be more stamina in battles. And you can decide to simply say, my character going to boot camp and going to learn to survive the gritty way. Or you realize after some battles where you almost died, you might realize that, damn, I need to be better at this. And then you get more, you boost your hit die or your Constitution in order to take it. So that's a decision you can kind of upgrade. You can upgrade your hit die during the career of your character, so to speak.
So you got to remember.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of this discussion going on. Once Arthur Kane put in a weapon specialization, the Bard gets really powerful, much more powerful, because now you have a double specialized, say, longsword fighter at 7th, 2 attacks per round. Then they go through Thief up to 8th. Then they start as a Bard. They get all their other abilities in their first level, and they get their singing and stuff. And now they're getting, if they're dual wielding, they're getting 7 attacks every 2 rounds. See the issue? And if they have 140 hit points, it gets even worse. So them being only a 7th level fighter means nothing. I'd rather have a 7th level fighter bard a 10th level bard that's a 7th level fighter than an 11th level fighter in the campaign. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I have.
Then you have to sit down with your players and say,
well, I have.
You have to. They have to realize that the game is maybe too unbalanced.
I have, and I've said if you notice, there are no new bards coming out of my guys.
Yeah.
I have said if I catch you ahead of time making a fighter up, and then you're going to switch him over to Thief then Bard, and you have 17 con or whatever, I'm going to make sure I kill you multiple times because you lied to me. I will let you do it, but your Bard's got to have under 15 con to start your fighter. I've already made that concession with them. I've also made it so I'm hoping that they see Frederick and they see Maya and they see online special people playing these bards and
Yeah.
they're enjoying it and it works. And you see,
Yeah.
I'm using a little
Yeah.
reverse psychology here.
Yeah, Rex Fellis has
No,
an
they don't.
question. What about Thaco? What table? Or how do you combine that?
They just go on the 7th level fighter table. If the highest level of their fighters where they, it's usually the best.
So whatever,
Yeah.
they follow, they get the best of whatever they have.
Yeah, which is
their
fighter.
combination.
And that's why
Yeah.
with Maya, she's only a 4th level fighter. So she's not going to be a great fighter. Now, them I started a little earlier because I wanted them. I may do one more exception with them. I don't need to worry about this right now because it's working. That character fits in great with that party. If you haven't watched that group, they're hysterical. Also, oh shit, wrong button. I finally did one with Tim.
Yep.
Bards don't get better Thaco as they go up in level, do they? They get Thaco as either a druid or as a illusionist or as a songbard, which is a mage. So only the original type druids. So they're not going to till like 13th level be better than a 7th level fighter. I may let her go back and up her fighter 1 level down the road. Because I think a 5th level fighter would be a little bit more advantageous. I'm not going to worry about it now because it's not affecting anything right now. So there you go. Works perfectly. I can live with this. 56 hit points, gaining a die 6 when she goes up. I can live with that. That's no problem. It works perfectly. So I've solved the issue. The issue depends on
your players don't like the solution.
Bill and Alan especially don't like the solution. Tom doesn't care. Walt doesn't care because I don't think he's ever playing a bard again. But yeah, that's all right. So
it's tough. Yeah,
it's tough, but at least you're understanding that I don't.
Oh yeah.
I have issues with my players, and these are little. Hey, Josh, I got to talk to you too, Josh. So whenever you're free, let me know. So, all right. Great question there. That's the number one issue, Curtis. Thank you for asking it. I'm pretty sure Gaiac's never used bards at all in his campaigns. Does anyone know otherwise? My guess is he didn't, and this was not well thought out. And that is one of the problems that we ran into. But I am up. I am above. I will make changes for the better for me, for the game. So, and these bard changes that I've done are working for, as you said, Curtis loves that character. So it's all just a little tweak here and there. All right, so this is a great book, Song and Silence. You have this, Anna?
Yes.
It's a good book.
I have it both PDF and it's on the shelf up here too.
Yeah, same here. By the way, I don't know if you saw, we had 2 raids when you went off.
Okay,
Dice Legends
awesome.
Dice Legends and Blue Box both came in.
Awesome.
So
I saw them before they.
Okay.
That was before I disappeared. Yep.
All right, so I want to go to a couple things here. They got some prestige classes for rogues, and then they got Bard and Rogue equipment. So let's just take a look at this. This is GREYHAWK base, because I want to show you something in the back, and you'll say, "Oh, wow, that's
it's 3rd
interesting."
edition. Yep.
Yeah. All right, these are a lot of rogue, and we're not talking about rogues today. Royal Explorer's a rogue. I mean, if you want Spy Master may be a good one for a bard, for a 3rd edition bard. Temple Raider of Old Damara may go that way too. So they got a lot of cool things in here. Thief Acrobat, it's even in 1st and 2nd edition terrible. We tried to fix it and it just doesn't work. Virtuoso, that's definitely a bard one, right? This is definitely a bard. Prestige class, which is cool. Seems the next bars. Well, they can. I'm just what I'm saying is this. We do so few. Like, we're gonna do a new group of firsts coming up. I don't want anyone playing a straight fighter that's going to screw me over later on down the road. Oh, yeah, he's going to be a bard, and he's got 18 con, and he's already been up to 7th level fighter, and he's got 84 hit points. And then I got to deal with, I know what the disaster is going to be. He's going to be a bard with 130 to 150 hit points at 10th level. I just don't want that. So I have a Jester PC using Roger Moore. Yeah, Rex also, we already talked about the Jester. I have it as an approved class. It's awesome. It's kind of weak, though. So, yeah, a bit of thief, Rex Fellas. Can't backstab. Can't pickpocket. It can pickpockets. Can't open locks. Can't hide in shadows. It's a lot of stuff it can't do. But it's a cool RP aspect class. I have no problem with, hence why it's approved to be used.
But sometimes it can be cool to limit the scope of something in order to make them hone them, make them much more specialized in something. And it's like a ranger who dropped the spells in order to be better at stealthy, skulky
Right.
things or something. Yeah.
But I think it is extremely limiting for a PC. None of my guys are into playing. We've
No,
had
but-
one or two, yeah.
Yeah, it give me that's one of the Hawktails. I want the
There's equipment.
players to be able to not have characters that are completely hampered in
Right.
whatever. So yeah, and I'm going to talk about this extensively on my seminar at Virtual GREYHAWK, and there will be a bunch of but more of that in the end, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
DM John said he alternates it between one die 6 and 1 die 8. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
That's
heroic.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has a jester too. I like Roger Moore's jester. I want to use it for an RP aspect, a comedy aspect. We almost used the entertainer classes that Len Kafka did, but it just didn't. I didn't want. It was way even more bizarre than the jester. I was like, I don't want to go there. Jester's enough.
But Len's classes back in they were from a really early version of D&D. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a
they
lot
were
of cool.
harder to move into to adapt into later editions. Yeah.
You get it. Yeah, it's a lot, man. It is a lot. So, yep. Brett forbade me from playing any jester type character. Yeah, he did. I know you were looking into it. And that's why we went. So, there's some cool items in here. Breaker Bottle, Harp of the Immortal Maestro, Horn of Triumph. Really cool items you can use for your bards in here. Also, there's no reason why you can't make up your own bard special ability items, right? As we all know, I know some of you just got on. We went through it one more time. Curtis's character, Frederick, in the 24-hour stream, I gave him, and he has the dude's bongos, which cast an irritating noise in a 60-foot radius, with a singing effect, and then it worked very well. He also has Tiny Tim, a ukulele that is another joke. But yeah, so there's nothing wrong with giving there's a lot of them in the original Dungeon Master's Guide, right? A lot of these instrument of the bards that you can utilize. He does. Bane, he does that. He went out and got bongos. You saw. He went out and got bongos. So there are some cool items in this book. But here's what I wanted to show you also. I have not implemented these yet. I'm seriously considering doing it and looking into mostly the song bard. I have not done that yet here. So let me go to the end here. Always thinking ahead and always want to add stuff. Spells. Not the assassin. Bard spells, right? So there are some bard spells in here. And it'll tell you which ones are bards, but like you can tell by the names of them. Crescendo, focusing. You could just. There was one in here that was named. Where is it? I know. I just saw it. I was like, oh, Otto's resistible dance. Not irresistible. I didn't even. So this was cool. Otto's irresistible dance is 8th level, right? And jesters actually get that spell, by the way. But here it is. So Otto's resistible dance, 5th level bard. I was like, cool. So this one they get a -2 to armor class, will saves, concentration checks, and spellcraft checks. But they do get a save on it. So it's not the same as the irresistible one. I was like, wow. So I'm going to add this in, I think, too, to the GREYHAWK Mage as well.
Yeah.
Because we already have
that
it.
sounds good.
Yeah. So.
And it's cool with these things that are named after.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Just going through, it's like, oh, wow, cool. There's a spell right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's an absolute spell. So there you go. Just so you're aware. So I go through stuff and I look, and then if there's something that's not, like it's a neat idea that's not done by any of the other spells, I'll add it in. So, all right. Okay. What other questions do you have? As we're running up on time here, pretty close. Any for Anna or me, or Anna? Anything else you want to bring up? Please feel free.
I was going to say I'm a little bit against the 5e bard that can cast 9th level spells, and there's it's so close to wizards and stuff. So if you have a class system, I think it's cooler to limit the really high level arcane magic to the wizard, and if you have a sorcerer class, keep it there. And if you start spreading it out, and to me it's interesting, if you have a class system, then use it, so to speak, and don't try to give if you want to give every character spell casting, then skip the classes. Use a classless system if you want to spread it out and dot it out a little bit here and there, because otherwise it's like it's hard to both have the cookie and eat it, so to speak.
Right.
And that's where I think D&D has a little. I'm not against a class system. It's fantastic for a lot of reasons, and so on. But so if you water it down too much, then the class system loses its benefits, and it's not good for all styles of play. And I'm not preferring it, but it's nothing wrong with the class system. And one of I think the biggest benefits of a class system, it's easy to understand for beginners. It's a wonderful way of getting people into the game by saying, oh, you want to play a fighter or whatever. It's easy to understand, easy to implement, and easy to learn, because you can learn this part of the game. You don't get overwhelmed by options and stuff like that. So those are a number of really good reasons to have a class system. And one of the problems I have, if you make them half of them having 8th, 9th level spells, then it becomes somewhat of a problem, I think. Yeah.
So, like, this book is good. It's a complete Bard's Handbook, 2nd edition, which I forgot to mention. But
it's a good one.
I don't need anything in here. Is more of a flavor thing. And I'm going to tell you one of the things I don't like, and it's personal. Who played Baldur's Gate 2?
I haven't. I played it a little bit. I haven't played it through, but I played it.
You remember Dalis, the Blade character? I couldn't stand him, right? I could not stand that dude. So right? So I'm like, I don't want to have anything to do with a Blade, which is in here. Yeah. Oh, you're playing L4? That's cool. So, yeah. Don't get Dalis around Airy Lord 4th, or you're going to regret it. So, there you go. Give them a lot of spells and songs instead of other class abilities, which I've done, Farrell. That's what I've done. I've given them lots of that stuff. Yeah. You thought he was rocking? It's cool. It's all good. Personal preference. All right, we're going to do a double giveaway tonight. Just remember, someone's going to win 2. So, any other questions for us, for Anna and me? I know I babbled a lot about my personal thing, but just to show you that it's not all roses here, and that there's things to consider. The 1st edition Bard is not perfect. Gary Holian dislikes it tremendously. I don't blame him, but I make the best of it, and and I know there's one change I need to make, and that is lowering the hit points. And I figured it out with the special group characters. I just need to do it with my players, and a lot of them don't want to have their character drop down from 144 to maybe 110 hit points. I can understand that. And you take on Bards and Altamira. All right, so great question. Great question. I think I left my Altamira book downstairs again because I used it on Saturday. The nearest Bard is in Carrowood. It's Oxaxius. He's a 23rd level Bard. Right? He's friends with
23rd?
Yeah, Magnum alumni, right? He's the Magnum alumni. But he's like Q in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. So he's an NPC. He's so high level, he's done everything, so he doesn't do anything, right? So he's high all the time. That's all he does. He smokes weed the whole time. That's all he is. He's like kind of useless because he's 23rd level. You get to that point in your life where you're so high level you just don't care. That's where he is. So he's the highest level one. So sometimes you need to go to him for like, hey, if I want to learn this, the dude. Yeah, he's kind of like the dude. Exactly, Curtis. You got it. And I've had a character in my campaign since 1980. He's a really old character. And Pete Moss, Walt's Archer Ranger, hangs out with him, and they just toke up
Yeah.
the whole time. That's all they do.
Yeah. Do you level up the NPCs in the background so they follow the story? Meaning, if you advance
Some
the story a year, then you can
if
level
he
up
was
a bit.
adventuring, if they're
Oh, okay.
adventuring, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's just not doing anything. But there are some bards. There's no bards school in Altamira. Carwood's nearby. If you know the map, right? That's the crossroads between Selene and the outside world, right? Let me bring this up real quick. It's a great question, and I really appreciate it.
Willie
Alex.
Nelson Bard.
Yeah, Willie Nelson. That's even He basically. Yeah. You got it. So, and it's kind of entertaining when you run into him. It's kind of almost like running into Tommy Chong. Yeah, a little bit. So, kind of out there. So, yeah. And if you notice, Altamira's here. And there's Carwood, which is technically in Selene, as Mike Bridges found out. It's a borderland, but that is because there's a lot of Heffels in Carwood, and bards make great Heffels make great bards. So that is the hangout place. Dale would be talking 1E bards all night, man. So that is the place over Altamira. That doesn't mean there are no bards in Altamira. That's not the case. It's just that named bards, there haven't been many that have been brought up currently. So there are 2 bards that are in Altamira now. You got Frederick and Maya, both them. Curtis's character in cases. So you do. When the sages don't know the answer, do they refer to him? Yes, but remember, the sages are in Sojourn's Repose, which Anna has put, and it's right down the road, right about here on the map. It's on Anna's map of Altamira. It's right about there, down the road. Yeah. So that is where the maesters / sages are. So sometimes people have had to go for him for advice or for something, and yeah. Oh, they're 1E. They're 1E, but you missed the whole beginning, Dale. I'd watch it. I made some exceptions and changes because I had to. Curtis is a 7 fighter, 8 thief, 2nd bard. Probably 3rd after the last adventure. He probably went up. I haven't done experience for him because I haven't used them again. So, I don't have any banners for this week yet made up. What is going on, Anna?
Tons and tons of stuff. Now I've had a milestone today. We had the first active real play test of Hawk Tales fantasy role play system.
That's awesome.
So that was a lot of fun. I've been working on. I called it the house rule project. It was a cover name, so to speak. I wanted it to make my version of D&D basically, and I was hesitant on. I was like, wanted to just house rule it and just keep it under myself. Then the OGL came around, and I was like, no, this is not going to happen. I'm just going to call it the house rule project and put up a little bit of rules to say I tweaked it this way. But then D&D became came into. There are 2 things that spurred my change in mood. One was that Advanced 5e came out from Ian Publishing, and then they made a version that was in the Creative Commons of that. So I could
cool.
use based on that. They were the first to do it. Then Wizard of the Coast released 5e into the Creative Commons, and all of a sudden I have all the rules in Creative Commons, so I can actually publish it, my version of it. I can do basically what Ian World and others done. I can take the SRDs that are in Creative Commons of A5e and 5e and make my own version of it. That I'm not going to publish it for money or anything. And then when I realized that was possible, I worked on it for a couple of years, and it's gone almost 5 years. Then I realized that what the heck, now I can actually do what I do with my maps. I can release it as Creative Commons. So that's what I want to do. So I worked. It's about a 5-year project now. So it's an early alpha that is now complete enough that you can run whole adventures and basically a whole campaign with it. So it was a lot of fun. I played with myself and I played with some friends, but they weren't diehard gamers, so to speak. So I had to teach them to play D&D, and that was interesting because I can use my rules in order to teach them. And there were some concepts that were kind of, I realized there were an overwhelming amount of choices to be made. So, but there are ways around it. You can simply pre-gens is one thing that I recommend. If you're new to role-playing games and you want to use Hawktails, then use pre-gens. That's the way around it, so to speak. And you simply say, well, this character has this story, and therefore this is the way it is from the beginning, and then they can tweak as they go. But so it's geared towards experienced players and DMs. It's not a system that I designed for newbies. I just designed it for my own use. But it's turning out to be interesting. We had some really cool fights, and one of the key things with it is that I have a one action round system. And that was the thing I wanted to test. We didn't use much magic this time. We just had a straight fight with some shield lance soldiers and a scout with some goblins. And it was an interesting fight because I want quick rounds. So I try to slim down the number of die rolls. So if you have many attacks, as long as you attack one other enemy, you only roll one die roll and pile on the damage. And so multiple attacks doesn't mean more rolls, so to speak. So my goal is that you should be able to play a 20th level fighter, and you should make many more rolls than you do when you play a first level. The only time you start doing more rolls is when you start attacking multiple enemies. Mm-hmm. And that's when it gets interesting, because you have something, and this is one of the things that have changed the battlefield. You have interrupts. Instead of reactions, you have interrupts. So you can, if someone else moves into your reach, you can take over the round. If you haven't acted, you can, okay, now it's my round and I'm going to do it. So it's always risky. You can, and if you have more attacks ready, if you're a high level or good combatant, so to speak, you have more attacks, you can then, if someone comes up to you, you can bang them, so to speak. Or you can simply say, well, I want to dole out all my damage on this attack, and then you're done for the round. So rounds can be very, very quick, but they can also turn on a dime, so to speak. So all of a sudden you have to, there's more things that can go south quicker. And so we had some interesting twists and turns, so to speak. Some goblins that just stormed up and did it, and a couple of them died, but the next one got in a crit, and one of the characters was down, so to speak. So that happened in one round. So it's an interesting system. It's more flexible, but it's also risky. Combat is riskier and grittier and faster than regular D&D. And then death rules are different too. You choose when you want to roll a death save. So you don't necessarily go down. You can continue, but it's getting riskier the more you do it. So if you lay down and just trying to survive, you can do that. Or you can take a death save and start doing that to try and stay alive. Or you can just go to the bitter end. You can, as a player, I want you to have as many choices as possible, almost no matter what the situation. Player agency. So even when you go down, there's hardly any situation where I will tell you, well, you only have to suffer this. That's the only way out. So there's almost always multiple options. You can go on fighting, or you can simply say, well, I want to lay here and try to be safer and wait for help or something. So there's definitely, so yeah.
So
yeah.
Are you on Friday this week? I know.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
So Friday, I'm probably going to do something different. On Friday, I think I will build an initiative tool in Notion for Hawktails. Yes, I think I'm going to work on that a little bit. So
nice.
I might do that for Friday. Yeah, because I need it for next week's playtest. Because I realized I want to have a customized initiative tool. So and some monsters too, because I've designed probably about 10 monsters, and NPCs. So I want to have a few more. And I'm going to design a dragon too. And one of the things that I want to have dragons to have that I haven't seen before is that their bite is crushing. So if they crit you, they will crush your bones. So then you get incapacitated. That's one of the things. So they can crush you, and so you have to be wary if they bite you. And reach is way more important in Hawktails than it is in regular rules. And these big dragons have 40, 20, 30, 40 feet of reach, and that could be deadly. that can be super deadly, especially the high-powered ones. They can do 4 or 5 or 6 attacks in the same round. They might get to you long before. So you need a long spear, and you need to run fast, and you need to have a lot of buddies in order to get to that dragon. But that's part of the fun. So greedier but not deadlier is the motto, so to speak. But yeah, so the next thing coming is an overview of the goals and for Hawktails, a little bit about the roadmap, and also a little bit on how I'm trying to implement those goals. It's one thing to have lofty goals, but you also have to have a roadmap on how to try to implement them. So I'm going to list a number of goals that I have with the rule system, things that I want it to be good at, so to speak. And then I'm trying to explain a little bit on how I'm going to try and solve to make it be good at this thing, because rule system can be good at different things. I don't think the Hawktails by far is not going to be a bestseller or super popular, but it will be good at. What I hope with it is that it will be really good at some certain play styles and stuff. So those might be the right one for you, might not be. So I want to nail it down. So if you're interested, and then you can start playing. So I will start the first time it will be officially outplayed will be at Virtual GREYHAWK. I will run play tests on a weekly basis leading up to it. So if you're on my Discord server, and you should be, then you can ping me and we can arrange a test play and have a little skirmish scenario and stuff. Cool. Because I will run them probably a couple of times per week leading up to that.
There you go, Brungel.
So I get, yeah. Oh yeah, so ping me if you're on Discord and know me on Discord or something. Otherwise, and hang on a second, I'm going to post a link to my Patreon. You can always link up if you're one of my patrons. Send me a message, and I'll set up, and I can set up a little skirmish session for 1 or 2 players. So no biggie. We can run a half an hour, and combat can go quickly, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And they will be low to mid-level, from 0 level to like 3rd or 4th level, 5th, because I haven't. There's still some rules missing and stuff that I haven't written down properly for higher level play. So that's why the Virtual GREYHAWK will be 3rd to 5th level play, something like that, maybe 6.
Yeah, lower like level the better for that. Yeah, for testing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because I want the action economy, the basic rules and stuff to work first before I move up. But I have the basic concept for high level play, really high level play, even beyond 20th levels. I have ideas, but first I need to battle test the fundamentals, so to speak. That's really important.
So
please, Big Mac, please post a link and we can get them in on
yeah, the there you go.
So please do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
there will be, so on Friday there will be a mapping show, whatever. It might be me sitting in Notion doing an initiative tool, or it might be me working World Machine and stuff. Cool. So, yep. Mm-hmm.
So in the time we've been on, there's been some signups for some events for Virtual GREYHAWK. I really appreciate it. Keep it rolling. Keep it going.
Yep.
You know, there's some that really deserve it, and we will continue to go over these.
I can add a little bit on these. The players, you guys that are players on you will get an alpha version of some of the documents sent to you very quickly. So there will be how the combat round works, how the action economy works and stuff. And I will edit that a little bit better and then release it to all my patrons. And so in a couple of weeks, the basics will be ready for everybody. It will be released for everybody, the basics, the combat round, the action economy, initiative, and stuff like that. So all the basics. So anyone who's interested can follow this along, so to speak. And the rules will be Creative Commons. They will be open, available on our website for everybody. So it's not going to be something I'm selling for money. These will be rules that people can use, and they will come in PDF and Obsidian format and stuff like that down the line. So yeah. Okay, sorry.
I want to show you something here. So you all found out about Ed or whatever, Lost City of the Soul. I got 6 on the wait list for it. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so everyone's like, oh, Ed's playing in it. Ed's going to be an hour or 2 late. He's coming on at 9 because he's got to work till 8 at the library that night. But he will be on for the game for like the last 2 hours of it. So there you go. It's going well. Please keep on, keeping on signing up. if anyone, I did send a message out to someone who bought a T-shirt and haven't responded because I don't have their address to send it. But I'll try that again. But like, it's going well. You can still submit events if you want to. Only thing I would ask is if you've signed up for anything already, please don't exit that one and sign up for something that's not in there yet, that comes in late. I would appreciate that not happening. All right, so I have no banners, just telling you what's going on. We're going to have a Legends and Lore on Wednesday. Don't know what it is.
Yeah, we haven't. You need to decide.
Yeah,
There's been so many things back and forth. So
there's probably two options. There's either going to be villains or it's going to be new spells. One of the two, I think, because Mike had put that in the week before. One of those two. And then Thursday night we finish Secret of the Slaver Stockade with Curtis playing. Probably, I don't know if it'll be a full session or not, but we'll find out. We'll finish that up with Treasure Division, all there, because there's still one or two little quirks that they haven't done yet. So there's still some things left. So, thank you very much. And then there's a special game on Saturday. It's not with the new Bone Baddies. It's going back to Nuclear Meat with hopefully Skarn. Right now in it is Coco and Korg. Coco playing Faunlin, Korg playing his monk Maram, and Rob Phantom NJ playing Durgrim, his thief, dwarf fighter thief. Mike Disney's been invited, and a couple other people have been invited. I haven't confirmed yet, but we got enough. Three's enough. I'll have enough for that game. That'll be at Saturday at 10. We're going to run 10 to 2 on Saturday this week. So it'll be a special game. All right, let's do the giveaway. Last call. Exclamation point drawing.
Thank you, DM.
Thank you very much.
But it was primarily Jay who did the heavy lifting.
Oh, so that's wheelhouse stuff. A wheelhouse discussion on this one. Just I've been when you know what the problem is, and you do your best to fix it, and it's still nothing's perfect, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. I'm closing this out. Let's see who wins. Moose. Moose, awesome. 2271. Moose.
Yep.
All right, Moose.
Yeah, don't hesitate getting on wait list because there might always be people who drop out. So sign up for wait lists too. So, yep.
I think Moose is still on. I was going to make sure. Let me just. Yeah, there he is. All right, Moose. 2. Send it to. Are you sure? All right, I'll do that. She needs. That's a really kind thing, Moose. I will do that. I'll get with Courtney and I'll send it to her. No problem, because she needs some new things to read and look at, too. That's cool. All right, so thanks, Moose, for doing that. We're going to raid into Darling. I think she's got a game, right? She got a tabletop game going on. So we're definitely going to raid into Darling here. Let's go in with over 100. That'll be awesome. So, Anna, thank you. Thank you for the raids. Holly Monster, Dice Legends, Garycon Live, and Blue Box. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. And thanks for a great discussion. We'll see you on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock for Legends and Lore discussion. And we'll have the topic title probably by tomorrow. See ya. Wrong button's probably coming here. All right. Yes. Wow, Jacoboom, of all those, you didn't get a gift sub. Wow. Oh, man. All right. Sorry about that. Setting this up. Spiders, tigers, and skulls. Wow, look at that group. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at this. 96. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Wednesday night. Thank you.
96. That's great numbers.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for a show that didn't have any guests or anything special. It was just me sitting babbling about one topic, so to speak. So that's fantastic.
Thank you.